Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tundra Nation live stream with me, your host, Tyler. 14 hours to Steve, Uncle Cushion, and Spicy McDude. Scotty takes over, Scott takes, you know him as the Pig Nation. And in hour 2, we play the initials. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and let's start the show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Hey guys, welcome back to the show tonight, this afternoon, this evening, or this morning, or wherever you are in that beautiful place that we call the Tundra Nation. We made it. We're alive, baby. Let's go, man. I'm excited.
Let's go, buddy.
It's Saturday night. I've got about a half a bottle of scotch waiting for me for the show. We've got some other fun stuff to do. It's going to be a grand evening. We have an extra special guest awaiting, actually not awaiting introduction. We can introduce him right now. We got Scott's brother Andy hanging out with us tonight. Andy, my boy, how you doing today? Sorry,
I'm having a great time here.
I'm excited to have you back. The last time we had you, we had a great show. It was tons of fun, and we're gonna not subscribe. Excuse me, somebody just subscribed to my Twitch. Thank you very much, Carstairs Cowboy, for the 4 months. Let's freaking go. Anywho, where I was going with this is last time you were here, it was the Pig Nation team in 20 questions. Didn't do so hot, if I recall. Maybe we'll have a chance to dive back into that this week, or if the plan goes like last week, we just continue having fun talking about shit that's been going on, which we had a blast last week. And that's kind of where we're going to be starting this week. But before we get too far into it, first of all, in your upper left-hand corner, 14 Hours to Steve is joining us for a segment on the show today. I just wanted to introduce you and say hello to you. Thank you for joining us in hour number 1, sir.
Of course. I would love to join you in hour number 1. It's my favorite thing to do.
For those of you guys who don't know, the way to see 14 Hours to Steve as this is in this Tundra Nation, if you will, is he is the writer for Tundra Tactical. If you laugh at some of the YouTube videos, we'll get him next time. Thank you very much. If you laugh at some of the YouTube videos, there's a very good chance you're laughing because he wrote the joke. So thank you for that, Steve, and we appreciate you once again.
Very lucky to have an amazing writing partner in Uncle Cushion. As you always say, if it made you wince, it was probably Uncle Cushion. If it was something you thought was clever wordplay, it was probably me.
That is very true and very, very accurate. We are broadcasting on multiple platforms tonight. We are saying hi to the YouTube audience. Hello, YouTube, and fans of Tundra Tactical out there. And, of course, to the Twitch folks, we have a hello and the fans of Tundra Gaming Live over here on the Twitch side of things. Ladies and gentlemen, let's dive right into it. But quickly, before we do, I do have to say to Scott, party on, Garth.
Party on, Wayne, brother. How you doing?
I'm freaking awesome, man. It was a good week. Holiday season was great. Hopefully everybody out there in Chatland had an excellent holiday as well. But yeah, man, it was awesome. How about yourself?
Been good. I've been hanging out with my brother a little bit. He's been here visiting California from Texas and having some dinners and whatnot. And we got little Ellie showing up.
Yeah, here, let's see if Ellie wants to make her appearance tonight. She is very much under the weather and not feeling good, so we'll see if she wants to come on. Ellie, do you want to come say hi? No. No. Okay. We're very much not feeling well, so I think it's just bedtime. Okay, mommy? All right, say bye-bye. Yeah, bye-bye. You go get some rest, honey. She's not doing the hottest. Yeah, that's Steven. Yep.
Hello.
She goes, that's Steven.
She's so formal, and I love it.
Yeah.
She's the only one who does that.
Yes.
Everyone else is like, it's Steve. And she's like, hello, Steven.
She's convinced me to start doing it, too.
It makes me feel, like, wow. Like,
all right, little bug. I want you to go get some rest. I love you. Okay? You go take your plague somewhere else, though, so Daddy doesn't get it, even though Daddy's probably already sick. Anyways, of course, okay, we got Steve introduced, we got Scotty introduced, we got Andy introduced. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not the Recast Podcast. This is the world's okayest gun live stream hosted by me and Scotty, Saturday nights, 9 p.m. Welcome. We're very happy to have you here. In the first segment of the show, we like to normally play some games or, have a little bit of fun with a segment or a bit. Yesterday, hello from Denton County, Texas. Jake B says, let's go. Let's go. One of my favorite fairgrounds in the country. Great gun show, by the way.
Yep, I've been there. Yep, been to that one.
I
just
have.
had a gun show in Odessa.
There you
before I came
go.
up.
There you go. Hey, so yes, tonight, like I said, normally in the first segment, we like to play some games, have some fun, enjoy ourselves, maybe talk about a segment or two worth of light topic stuff. Last week we did an Ask Us Anything, and it was a super duper fun time. I think we're going to continue with that again today. But before we do that, I brought Steve on here for a reason. Unfortunately, the world and especially the firearms world this week was rocked with a bit of sad news.
Yeah.
And that sad news, of course, is the legend himself, Mr. Gaston Glock, has passed away at the age of 94, leaving the empire in the, I'm sure, very capable hands, I think, of his wife?
His spouse, yeah, his second wife.
Yeah, his second wife, who, by the way, we cover in tomorrow's video. It's all about Mr. Gaston Glock. Just went up on YouTube, going live tomorrow at 11 or noon?
11 a.m.
11 a.m. Central. There you go. Thank you, writers. But I brought Steve on for just a little bit to kind of go over just in your research for this video. Steve wrote the video. He was kind of describing to me some of the intricacies of the things that he had written out, and I thought it would be a really interesting first bit, because there are some very, very wild and crazy things that a lot of people do not know about the guy who makes some of the most boring pistols but usable guns you've ever seen. Stevie, take it away, buddy.
Well, should we just start and leap into murder?
Murder?
Dude, murder is always a great thing to start off with. Can I get a legal in chat, please?
Lawyer up, kids.
Remember, it's only murder in Minecraft.
Just gonna let that sit in the air for
Yeah.
a really long time. Anyway, so we all think of Glock pistols, and look, Glock pistols. Everyone makes the joke. We've made the joke. They're the Toyota Camrys of the firearms world, right? Sure. Reliable, but no one's ever gonna be like, "Wow, nice Camry." And in we always sort of just assume Glock's kind of got a reputation as a buttoned up, stitched up company. And it turns out that the history of Glock is just riddled with strange and weird happenstances. And I think the strangest is when Gaston Glock's business partner attempted to assassinate him.
We're very quickly gonna take a quick break from that topic right on the tease point. So stick around for more on that. I do want to give you guys just a quick little heads up. We're gonna be doing, after this segment here, we're gonna be doing an Ask Us Anything. So you could ask Andy, who is not an official member of the Tundra Nation, but a guest on the show because he is the brother of the co-host of the show. And it's always fun to hear that family perspective. But think of your questions now that you're going to ask. And as you think of them, make sure to tag me in the respective chats. If you're on YouTube, you're going to tag at Tundra Tactical, and you're going to tag at Tundra Gaming Live over on Twitch. Or if you're on Twitch, you can highlight your message using channel points. That'll give you the maximum chance of me actually seeing your question. If you don't do that, then I'm just kind of very quickly scanning to see what's available. If you highlight it, I'll have a better chance of seeing it during that quick scan. Stevie, take it away.
Absolutely. So, Gaston Glock decides, the humble beginnings as a curtain rod manufacturer, that he wants to build the Glock pistol.
Because why the fuck not, right?
Because he heard two guys in the military talking about how much their pistols sucked. They couldn't find a pistol with all the bells and whistles they want on it that could also survive the burn down test. And he said, "I'll build you a pistol," and they laughed at him. And as Glock's manager of his Smyrna, Georgia facility says, "You never laugh at Gaston Glock."
Ooh.
So Gaston builds his Glock, and soon after as it becomes popular in Europe with European law enforcement agencies, he wants to expand it across the globe, right? He wants to get into American law enforcement and Asian militaries as well. And he ends up bumping into this fella, Charles Udert. Don't ask me to spell the name. And Charles is like an international business guy. He's perfect. He helps Glock expand. So Glock is just focused on the manufacturing, making the pistol, the design, running it. Charles is expanding the business. And then one day, an employee comes to Gaston, actually a former employee comes to Gaston and says, "Hey, you need to check in on Charles because I think he's doing some shady stuff with the money."
Oh, no.
Now,
Just take a
Gaston's
peek,
like,
would you?
to Gaston's
I
Stand
heard
by.
a
credit,
rumor
TTS coming
we
in.
are getting a new
Oh.
Glock 94 in 9.4
A new
section
Glock
20R,
94
the old
in 9.4 by
outdated
20R.
Duff service revolver.
Nice.
With the optional horse semen
Yeah,
lube
the horse
on
semen
bullets. And
lube is
question for
standard, I
Andy,
hear.
Why do you look like a Yankee Marshal and Jack Black combination? Or just every average California
Actually,
homeless
it's not
man?
standard.
Oh,
There will be an upcharge.
Andy's catching some shade in the chat right now. He says, "Why do you look like hold on. Why do you look like a Yankee Marshal and Jack Black combination or just every average California homeless man?" Sorry, Andy, the chat's got it
Wow.
out for you tonight. The chat's but I
Well-
mean that's you sign up for that when you show up to the show.
Visiting California, I decided to fit in.
Ah, well played. It's social camouflage.
Exactly. Now all the homeless people think I'm one of them, so they just don't bother me.
Us. Exactly. Nice. All right. Continue on there, Steven.
So Gaston's business partner Charles, the rumor starts that he's doing something shady with the dough. And you got to understand, this is an international firearms company.
Sure.
So there's shell companies across the world.
Mhm.
There are accounts in various countries that, shall we say, look,
The
don't
other
look
way.
too hard at your tax records.
Yep.
Are not very concerned about what you should be paying in another country as long as you're paying them. And Charles is the guy who sets this up. So Gaston says, well, I better at least check in on this. And he calls Charles and sets up a meeting. He says, hey, Charles, let's just go over the books and everything's cool. Now, a suave and cool embezzler would be like, of course. Let's set that meeting for next week and then steal all the money you can and run to the Caymans, right? That's what a smart embezzler would do. Not Charles, because Charles, it turns out, was indeed embezzling money, upwards of $100 million personally.
Nice.
But on
Good
top
for
of
him.
that, was also trying to scheme to actually get Glock out of his own company and take over the Glock brand. So this is full Game of Thrones coup d'etat.
Yeah, this is some
Gotcha.
gnarly shit. Yeah.
Yeah. But Charles is kind of also weirdly panicky. And instead of running with the money and just saying, well, I made $100 million, life is good, I'm going to live on a beach now, says, yeah, let's have the meeting at an office building in Luxembourg. Sets up the meeting with Glock, and he's like, hey, there's this sports car in the parking garage that you would probably like to buy. We should go check it out. So he lures him, is how the police reports describe it, down to the bottom floor of this parking building in Luxembourg. So we've got an Austrian gun manufacturer, an American financier, and a garage in Luxembourg. It
And
already
it
sounds
gets
like
better.
a Jason Bourne film.
Yeah, it gets better. It gets so much better because where it becomes the Jason Bourne film is
the next. Yes. So as Glock is looking at this car, out of nowhere comes a former French professional wrestler. First name is Jacques Pechurier,
Does
who
he have his
wrestled.
intro music too?
Oh, dude, it would have had to be some Stone Cold Steve Austin, right? Like,
oh, dude, that's
John
hilarious.
Cena. Anyway, so Jacques Pechurier,
Are you sure about that?
who wrestled under the name Spartacus, by the way,
I like it. I
I
like it.
like it too.
clocks Glock in the back of the head with a mallet.
And by the way, when you're trying to say that on camera, it's incredibly difficult to not say cock.
No, it's not. I just did it.
I don't think that was a problem for him at all.
He wrote it, so he has the benefit.
Hey, it's a fetish for somebody somewhere.
Yeah. And hits Glock over the back head with his mallet, right? Square in the back of the skull. Twice. Now, Glock's not dead, which is, to me, actually the most amazing fact out of all of this.
Can we quantify why that's amazing? We did the math. He's 71 years old at the time of this attack.
Yes.
Holy-
That's very important to recognize that Glock is basically should be collecting his Social Security check for like 7 years at this point, right? Go find if your mom, your dad, your grandpa, someone you know who's 71, and just imagine if you clocked them on the back of the head
As a
if the next part of
300-pound human being that's used to
Right.
dealing damage to other people's craniums.
Wow.
Okay, so he bashes him on the back of the head. Gaston goes to the ground.
Shut up, Carstairs.
As Jacques is about to do the filing blow, Gaston jumps up. The stories describe it as he was able, because of his years of swimming miles, that his strong muscular legs allowed him to jump up, counterattacks. And every news story describes the counterattack as Gaston hit the man with his large fist in his eye socket.
Specifically that way, yeah.
Every story says eye socket, not eye, head, whatever. So in my mind, Gaston's not just punching the guy; he's going for the eyeballs.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Right?
He's fully gouging
Gaston
this guy's eyes.
is in the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hits this guy who, and if you've ever seen a picture of Gaston Glock, he's like got the build of Orville Redenbacher. He is not a bulky dude, right? he's wider. He's like Abe Lincoln.
I love how your associatable reference there was Orville Redenbacher.
I know exactly what he meant.
I know I did too, but for anybody under the age of 30, that went.
I was going to say the
That's
Smothers
why I
Brothers
said
or
Abe
something.
Lincoln. Everyone knows what Abe Lincoln looks like. See, look, I'm bringing it together. Bracket. You got to bracket the generation.
I like it.
Right. So Jacques stumbles back. Gaston doesn't run. Gaston continues and presses the attack, knocks the dude's teeth out. He goes down to the ground unconscious in a Luxembourg underground garage.
Dude, it sounds like a Bond film.
Right.
It just does.
The police show up minutes later, because when seconds count, the police are always minutes away.
Mm-hmm.
And Gaston has lost about 20% of his blood from the head wounds. They think he has like five or seven. There's different reports. The attacker is still laid flat out on the ground unconscious. There's no proof of this. This is horrible speculation on my part. I'm convinced Gaston kept kicking the motherfucker.
Oh, sure.
Saying, right?
I would too.
There's no way this guy just was like, I'm going to wait for this guy to get up. This Gaston feels like once he's on top, he stays on top.
Oh, yeah.
You know
Or
what I mean?
like,
This is why you don't mess
did
with
it,
old people.
He did it like
man.
on a timer because he's such an engineer. What he did is he calculated the amount of time he had, and then he just gave one head stomp like every 36 seconds. RTT Guns and Gear, thank you for the $10 super chat coming in. Sig and Smith & Wesson, a giant dude with a hammer, couldn't take down Glock. Yep.
100%. So the police show up. The guy's still unconscious. Glock is standing, bleeding out. The guy, now remember, Charles was in that parking lot with him, or that parking garage with him.
Mm-hmm.
Charles fled to a stairwell. When the police get to him, he goes, I just ran. I'm a coward. That's his official statement to the police.
I mean, you at least stand there and go, wasn't that crazy? Oh my God.
But we discovered why Glock doesn't like hammers.
Yeah. Andy coming in with the jokes today. That should have gone in the video, man.
4 hours ago.
I know, that should have gone in the video.
Maybe, maybe that should be the title of the video, why Glock doesn't like hammers.
Yeah, right. That can be the title of the short for that that segment of the video.
Yeah. Now here's the thing. Story's not over. Because Gaston realizes he has been set up to be killed by his friend and business associate, a guy he trusted. So he's in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. He is making the paramedics give him like communication devices so he can get a phone call to his office telling him to lock down every bank account the company has.
Okay, so I read a book on Glock, and it never gave how he decided it was. I never figured out that part. Like, how does he realize that he was set up?
I think he just like his
business partner was
him down
there. Yeah, he was there.
So, like,
He's in the.
He's there to talk to Charles about this story about like money being misappropriated. He probably had a bad right, and then Charles was probably acting all
seemed
weird.
obvious to him. Okay, so there wasn't like a aha moment. Okay,
look distracting down here while someone comes and runs and hits you in the head. By the way, I'm going to run away.
Okay, it was just that obvious. Okay.
Also, honestly, it could be as simple as knowing what I've researched about Glock. Glock is kind of like once he's done with you, he's done with you. So like you F up something or he
Sure,
doesn't
yeah.
trust,
Yeah.
you're
Right.
done.
You ran
So
away while I was
you
getting
ran
my ass
away.
kicked.
It could
You're
just be as
done.
simple as like Charles ran away. I'm done with that mofo, and then he discovers the rest later. But anyway, he decides to start locking down
Dr.
the accounts.
Catmilk, god damn it.
Charles gets away. God dang it, Catmilk. From the chat, Dr. Catmilk
Yeah,
says
I
the
know.
realization just smacked him in the face.
And it did.
I guess it's just something that popped into his head. Long story short, Gaston in the hospital is ordering the shutdown of his accounts.
Steve, could you say they were really trying to hammer home the details?
Damn it, that's a good one.
That's a good one. Sorry.
No, you're fine. And Charles ends up swiping somewhere between 30 and 40 million dollars out of the Glock accounts. Now, happy ending in all this is Charles is arrested and tried for murder. He's convicted.
What a bitch.
Glock finds out during the course of this that Charles was actually doing all these schemes to take control of the company away from him, including forging like bonds for the company that would have given him control.
Yeah, just imagine the amount of like forensic accounting that you'd have to do to like unwind all that shit.
So you could say he was trying to wrestle a good car deal, but got hammered instead.
Charles couldn't. This is coming over from Jake B in the YouTube chat, Steve. He says Charles just couldn't nail it down. Well played.
Sometimes you just gotta hammer it in.
Yeah. Short name, only Glock with a hammer from Blood Vow. I like it, Blood Vow. Well done. Stevie, what other interesting stories do you have about one Gaston Glock that you discovered in your research for tomorrow's video?
After this incident, our friend Gaston basically cut everybody out of the loop that wasn't him.
Sure.
Smart.
Including his own kids. Like the kids all have positions in the company, and they asked the daughter, so what do you do, with your, you're an executive at Glock, what do you do? And she's literally said, her response in German is basically, whatever pain in the ass thing my father tells me to do.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the way they have a lot of their stuff set up, so like all the paint or certain metal or whatever, like they buy those companies, and like he sets up family and people.
Sure, yeah.
And he makes them like in charge of those companies.
But on like 40 Smith.
Glock still owns all of that.
He liked it enough, Roboman, to make a gun for it, or a couple of guns for it.
Yeah. Other interesting bits about old Gaston. He was married for 48 years, which is a nice run. He divorced his first wife that helped him found the company in '63. It made curtain rods prior to guns, as we talked about. He divorced her for the nurse that took care of him.
Yeah.
After he had a mini stroke. The nurse.
I forgot about that.
His marriage was 48 years. The nurse was younger than his marriage. Her age was 31.
31, yep.
When they got married in 2011.
And he was 84.
Hey.
Yeah.
When you're a billionaire,
then of course,
you got all the game in the world.
I ain't saying she's a gold digger.
Oh, no.
I don't know.
The Generation 2 Mrs. Glock.
Which it was such a good joke in the video.
Gen 2 Glocks were
Gen
big.
2 Glock wife.
Is not hard on the eyes.
No, she's not.
And then, of course, we have the Glock Equine Breeding Center.
That's right.
Yes.
Which might be the strangest combination of companies ever to exist.
Agreed completely.
I make firearms, and I trade in horse semen. Don't clip that.
Somebody
True,
will.
I mean,
we had enough pause between it before and after that. There's definitely going to be a clip.
As
Damn it.
Dr. Catmilk just said, the Glocks are known for upgrade.
Yes, they are.
100%.
Yes, they are. Swap out all the parts. Swap out all the parts. Gaston is basically a playboy. Essentially, that's what we're saying. That's exactly what he was. So long story short here, as we kind of wrap up this first little bit and segment, Stevie, thank you for that interesting tidbit on the history of one Gaston Glock. We are in pseudo remembrance of our great the great patriarch of European handguns, aka Gaston Glock, aka the maker of the best-selling handgun in America for umpteen number of years, forever, essentially, since it came out. The Glock 19 is a fantastic firearm, albeit a little boring, but Glock, you done good, kid. And, well, let's just say have some fun on the great shooting range in the sky. Unless you were like a Nazi or something.
When I heard, I was like, oh, that's sad. And then immediately I was thinking like, man, he lasted. I mean, he was, what was his age? 94?
94.
He had a good run.
94. I mean, he had like a clutch on that stripper's foot, keeping him out of the grave, man. If you listen to the stories of him in Smyrna, and he takes like everybody, that's what his favorite place to go. He goes to Smyrna, he goes to check out the thing, and they go to the White Horse or whatever it is. They have like
this is
stories and stories.
This is coming in from Carstairs Cowboy on Twitch. Glock firearms and Glock horse semen. Either way, you don't want to catch a load.
Oh God.
Woof. You love to see it. Or you hate to see it, in fact. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap up the first segment of the show. Thank you guys very much for listening to Steve give us some interesting facts about Senior Gaston, even Glock. What we're going to do here for pretty much the remainder of the show, unless it really dries up really quickly. Oh, we got TTS coming
Glock
in.
20, best Glock, sorry. 10mm is the best.
Don't disagree. I wouldn't say best Glock for is the Glock 20. But I do like the long barrels and the long slides. Those do appeal to me greatly. 17L all day right here holds a special place in my heart, even though it looks derpy as shit. What we're going to do in the next segment here, and ideally for the rest of the show, I just want to keep having fun. Like we did last week, is do with us and ask us anything. We have a great number of people here today that I'm about to bring on, if they care to come on the show. And in the second hour, they'll definitely be here. But anyways, we have a lot of different people that fill a lot of different roles here in the GunTube Works. I myself am Tyler. I run Tundra Tactical and Tundra Gaming Live. We have two of my writers here. We have a guy from the ARFCOM YouTube channel here. We have Scott that works at Precision Holsters out in California in the retail side and the manufacturing side of the firearms accessory industry. Steve is an AR and AK aficionado, does a lot of things with pistols as well. Unfortunately makes bad choices regarding P90s and magazines associated with the gun. But hey, you know what? Not everyone is perfect.
I don't make bad choices. I make emotional choices about my firearms.
Goodness, Rachel, this is back in the chat.
Rachel!
What? Yeah, let's go. Our good friend Rachel, I have not seen you in forever and I have missed you, my dear. How are you doing? More importantly, Steve would like to know, how is your mom doing?
I was going to say, if you guys don't know, the Rachel we refer to in the intro
yes,
sequence is Rachel's mom.
Yes. Excellent news. Rachel, this is very nice to see you back in the chat. Welcome home. Ladies and gentlemen, what I would like you guys to do now is ask your questions. Ask anything that you want. We'll keep the segment going as long as there are questions coming in from you guys, the chat. Best way to get them read and answered, if you're on YouTube, is tag me at Tundra Tactical over on YouTube. And if you're on Twitch, make sure to either highlight your message using channel points, or if you don't have enough, tag me at Tundra Gaming Live with your message. And to answer your question, Rachel, yes, the world's okayest gun live stream is on both Twitch and YouTube. There you go. Looks like we got one coming in from the Peel to start. And he says, for the panel, since I was shooting in the rain today and am currently cleaning my guns, what is the preferred gun oil to prevent rust? Do you guys have a specific gun oil that you use to prevent rust, or is it just kind of like the way you think about it? This is kind of how I think about it, is oil's oil usually when it comes to that, and as long as there's not like latent moisture on the gun, as long as there's an oil barrier, then you're pretty much going to be good, unless it's for like extreme temperatures or extreme long-term storage.
Right. So that's what it comes down to, is how long you're going to be storing it in what conditions.
Yeah, humidity, temperatures, things like that.
Different oils will dissipate at different rates at different temperatures. So it all just, I just picked the one that matches that situation. Otherwise, it's just like standard. If I'm just going to have it in the safe, I'll probably use it in the next month or so. Just regular old CLP, nothing special. or maybe some ballistol if I really want to let it sit in there maybe for a year or something.
There you go. Ooh, Dr. Cat Milk. Very good question. Steve, did you have
Anybody
something? I'm
else?
sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm a fan of the G96 as a good all around product. For
Who's that
cleaning
made
and
by?
oil. That's a fair question because I've always only known it as its own company and brand. I will find out for you. But,
I like, my favorite gun oil is Slip 2000, but
Yeah,
it
Slip is
dissipates
good.
really quick.
Yeah. Personally, I'm a fan of like, oh, TTS coming in.
Ballistol only, ballistol only, ballistol.
You freaking took the words out of my mouth, Roboman. He says ballistol only, ballistol. I like ballistol as a lubricant and just a standard gun oil.
It's just ridiculously expensive, so I don't use it unless I'm gonna let it sit there.
See, yeah, that's the thing. I get it for free most of the time, so like I don't have to pay for it, so I do enjoy it. If I was paying for it, it would just be like a standard CLP.
Yeah.
And it's simple as that. There's nothing too wild. I love how in the backstage, you guys on the chat don't get to see this, but Spicy's modeling his new pistol belt for us right now, and it looks great. Honestly, it looks great. His junk's all smashed up in between his legs, and
show me more.
Spicy always makes good gear choices. Like
he does.
Every time like Spicy recommends gear, it's like because he's done all the hard work for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I'm always impressed by his choices with gear.
Excellent. We got a lot of stuff coming in. Does anyone else want to chime in on the oil question?
No, I think we nailed it.
Okay, Roboman is saying, at Tundra Gaming Live, please explain to me why you aren't getting a 22 ARC. I'll tell you exactly the reason why. I got hyped up about 224 Valkyrie once. Well, that didn't work out so well. So I am no longer investing in those PRS-specific fucking Wildcat cartridges that there's going to be like 3 guns made for it ever, and the ammo's going to stick around for like 2 years and then slowly die off. So yeah, I'm
3 years before I consider adopting a new round.
Yep, I'm not doing that anymore. Let's see. Pachuco Cadaver even says, where do you guys fall on the ammo sexual spectrum 1 to 10? I'm gonna need some clarification on.
Well, we have a Twitch show and a YouTube show. We're pretty high on that.
I would say so, probably.
We're pretty excited about it.
Lots of stuff coming in over the YouTube side of things. I'll get there in just a second. Okay, Cat Milk, we'll get to that as well. All right, let's get to some YouTube stuff. Bloodvow says we almost got all the way through the story or a story without involving an Austrian without mentioning a history mention. Okay, sure. Excellent news. Bloodvow also says, oh, this one's funny. Has anybody checked in on James Reeves of TFB TV? I figure he's emotionally devastated after Gaston. I have not personally called him. Believe it or not, I actually am in possession of James Reeves's phone number. But I have not called him because I don't think we're that good of friends. But I have heard through the grapevine that while he is, yes, emotionally devastated, he has made the commitment to persevere and push on in honor of old Gaston Glock. And go ahead.
I would just be, look, Gaston passing at 94. I think James can handle that. He's an emotionally solid, mature man. Just Clint Smith can't go in the next year.
That's
too
true.
Much for anyone.
That's going to be a lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Too much for me. From this distance, I can't imagine what that would do.
That would be a lot. That would be a lot. James Reeves and
TFB
Johnny B would be devastated.
Yeah, they put out a video on, it's a gun called the Bro. So maybe he's feeling a little emotionally
he could be
sensitive to, he's looking for help.
All right, next up we have Bloodvow also saying use 40 weight. It's the most Chad oil or 40 weight. It's the most Chad oil. Yeah, nah, I don't need to do that. Tyler doesn't need lube, Tom says. All right, guns and gear. RTT Guns and Gear gives us another panel question.
Okay.
Favorite rifle light for the money. I feel like there's really only 2 very decent options here. Well, I guess not, actually. There's quite a few options just depending on what you consider to be acceptable. So like, for instance, if you want to go like super budget, you could go with like a Streamlight TLR1S pistol light mounted on the side. That's what I used to do. is I mount it on the side pick rail.
Yeah, it's great for inside the home and stuff. If you don't need it to last freaking hours, or you're not clearing out whole buildings, it's a great little option.
Yeah, so that's like if you were going absolute budget, especially like on like a pistol caliber carbine, something that doesn't have a lot of violence at the end of the barrel. You could get away with that. As like a fighting light, that's probably not the greatest choice. The next step up from that, I can't remember the exact name of it. Maybe Steve or someone can look it up for me. It's the actual rifle light with the pressure plate from Streamlight. I think it's like the
I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah,
I don't. The ones we had like in the military, you're saying?
I don't know if I ever had that. We had Surefire stuff.
HLX?
Yeah, the HLX. Thank you. It should have a pressure plate and everything. CR123 powered. It's a great kit for the cost. It comes with, if it's the one I'm thinking of, it comes with the plate, or it comes with the switch. It comes with all the connections and wiring. It comes with a CR123, or not 123, a 16, whatever the fucking
1630s.
I was about to go grab one, but I just remembered we're on YouTube too. So,
yeah. So long story short, it comes with everything that you need, and if I remember correctly, they were about $150-$160, maybe less. If anyone
for the Streamlight,
for the Streamlight
ones, if like you can find them sometimes on sale anywhere from like 90 to 120 for the full kit, the pressure plate, everything, 90 to 100.
So
I've seen anywhere from 90 to 150.
Yeah, and once again, I feel like I have to quantify this. Like, is it good enough for everyday use? Yes. Am I going to take it to war with me? That light, probably no. That's where I step it up into the Surefire light. Like, if I have a gun that is going to be like the only gun that I trust to get me like out of a shitty situation, that's where I'm going to put the money. I've always been a fan of saying, if you carry a gun or if you have a go-to rifle, that's where you dump all your money, because you want that shit to work. You buy once, you cry once, and all the stuff associated with that gun. Then all the other fun guns you have in the background you can play around with. But yeah, that one gun that I have is my AR. It's got 600 on it, Surefire 600 on it, I think, on a pressure plate, and it works great. It works fantastic. But they're two very, very different types of kit. For you guys, what would you say would be your go-to rifle lights? I'm sure there's not too many options out there, so feel free to.
Well, my first rifle light, I believe it was a mag light that I duct taped to the front of my BB gun. But I'm not super picky. Like I like the ones we had in the military, the Surefires, but only if I had the activation paddle. Otherwise, it was such a pain, and I hated it. It was so heavy and whatnot. But for the house, like I said, I think I'd just grab whatever I had and make it work as long as it had a pressure paddle. Yeah.
One of the more interesting ones I saw was, do you all know who Norvich is?
I do not, off the top of my head.
It's an airsoft company. But basically they made a carbine for the USP basically just a USP airsoft gun, and then another company was like, that's a really cool design, and since it's already 1-for-1, we're just going to make the met parts for the USP itself. And I thought that was really interesting. I didn't follow it much after that, but I was like, that's the first time I've ever seen an airsoft gun inspire a real gun. And it's usually the other way around.
Quick one in from Tom on the YouTube side of things. He says, at Tundra Tactical, Tyler, do you need a cloud defensive owl? Sure I do. I'll always take free kit to test out. I will always take free kit. So if you got one that you want to send my way, absolutely. Love to run it up against some of the other lights that I have. Okay, let's see. Anybody else on lights?
No, I run a Surefire 1000 lumen with the little pressure plate.
Yep.
Yeah, on my go-tos, and then stream lights on the fun guns.
I'm gonna make sure that I'm getting everything here.
Sergeant Rudy says he never had a Surefire last an entire deployment, but that's just me. I love my Surefires. Yeah, mine, you can destroy it. I threw that thing off a building one time and it smashed right into the concrete and it didn't do shit. It was great.
Okay, We got a lot of really good questions coming in. So
Awesome.
if it takes
Line 'em
me a
up.
little bit of time, folks, to get to yours, stick around. I will try to get to them all. If it seems like I've absolutely missed your question, like I've moved on 3 questions down, just go ahead and re-ask it, and I will try to grab it. If I've ignored it twice in a row, I probably don't want to talk about it. All right. So yes, I do need a cloud defensive owl, and I will absolutely take one. Let's see. Okay, this is great. I love this from Brizzy. Brizzy's trying to combine our 2 live shows, the Recast podcast and the World's Okayest Gun live stream.
Oh.
And he would like to ask us and the panel, and I've got a good answer for this, I think. Which actor would you choose to play Gaston Glock in a biopic?
Oh, that's easy.
Oh,
That's easy.
All right, I would like to know what you're going to go with, Scott, because I think I have a fantastic but sleeper answer.
Oh, okay. Well, now I'm second guessing it because he doesn't really do acting. I was just saying Clint Eastwood because he's the actual age of
that's
Gaston
like the
Glock.
obvious answer, I think, but I don't think
Yeah,
it
it's
plays
a
that
little,
well, honestly.
I'm second guessing my answer now, but I'll stick with it. Clint
All right,
Eastwood would
Stevie,
be.
Stevie, what do
We'll
you
play
got
the
for this
older
one?
version. We'll pick somebody
I
else for
think there's a
younger.
really easy answer here, which is Christoph Waltz.
That's a good one.
Yeah, he
too,
was
as
in
well.
the
I mean,
Yep.
he's Austrian, so
Yep, that
helps.
is a good
But,
that's a good
you
answer,
know,
but I don't think physically he portrays it.
He's not as tall. That's the thing. But he is like he's still got that slim frame. I mean, he's an actor.
That's true.
But
Taller son of a bitch.
I don't know when you said it. For some reason, Guy Pearce popped into my head instantly.
You know what? That's not
honestly,
bad either.
I like it for like a younger Gaston.
Yeah, I mean, you can age him up. You know,
Sure.
I mean, like you got let's be honest. The film is going to have to like basically have 2 parts, right? It's like him building the business from like 1980 onward, so he's gonna be middle aged, and then it's gonna have like an early Gaston, building his first business on his own
Sure.
or with his wife. So like I don't know, like I feel like Guy Pearce is kind of the right age for that 80s part. But there you go. What are we waving for?
Are you waving at somebody?
Yeah, I don't know.
Scott?
Scott was waving.
Can you hear me, Scott?
I think they're having problems.
They're
with
waving
Gaston.
because they were waving because they don't know if we can hear them. No, we cannot hear you. All right, let's move on to the next question.
We can hear you.
Yes, okay, we can hear you now. We got you back. What was the question I just asked? I'm sorry. Oh yeah, what actor?
Who would play him in the biopic?
All right, so this is a little bit of an outlandish choice. It's going to need some creative thought, but I think at least physically, it's not a dead ringer, but it wouldn't be that hard to doll him up to make him look like Gaston Glock, and that's Jeffrey Tambor.
Sure.
Look, he doesn't look anything like him, but you just get Arnie just for the fact.
Yeah.
And when he gets clocked in the back of the head by a giant wrestler, it's at least believable he
That's
didn't just
true.
die.
That's true. He just didn't just disintegrate. But no, I think Jeffrey Tambor, if you could teach him how to speak with an Austrian accent convincingly, and he's historically a very good actor, which I think he could do, I bet you he could pull that role off. He does kind of look like Gaston Glock a little bit. Nah, it's not, like I said, dead ringer status.
Right.
But there's something there. He's got a little bit of comedy chops too, so they could have a little bit of drama, a little bit of comedy. Although there's something tells me something about Gaston Glock didn't involve a lot of comedy. Number 1, he was Austrian. Number 2, he was an engineer. Number 3, well, he started off with curtain rods and went to guns, so he's probably a little psychotic.
And he already has a stick up his ass.
That's very true.
I have the alternative that I just came up with was Bill Nye. Bill Nighy. So someone would pronounce it. Bill Nye. You imagine in the underworld looking like, that very tall, very gaunt, just old ass man that looks like he could kick your ass. Yeah.
Yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the Tundra Nation, if you guys are just tuning in with us right now, first of all, welcome. My name's Tyler. I do this thing called Tundra Gaming Live and Tundra Tactical. On the Tundra Gaming Live side, we're each and every single day of the week for you. On the Tundra Tactical side, we stream once a week here on YouTube. So welcome. We're happy to have you here. Consider subscribing or following, depending on which platform that you're on, to help support the channel. And we are doing an Ask Us Anything at the moment. And what that means for you guys is ask us any questions you want. If you're on the Twitch side of things, make sure to tag at Tundra Gaming Live or use your channel points to highlight your message. And if you're on YouTube, make sure to tag at Tundra Tactical for the best chance of me seeing your question. As long as the questions keep rolling in, we'll keep going with this segment. As soon as they stop, we'll move on to the next one, or we'll end the show depending on where we're at in the evening.
A quick one, Tyler. Do we? We're 15 minutes out from the hour. Should we? It looks like they're ready to come in. Do we want to bring in Spicy and Cushy? See if they want to field some questions too.
Cushy, I'm sure, is ready to go. Spicy, I never told about the option to head on early, so we'll just keep it on the normal hour, I think.
All right.
So, anyways, we go ahead, Steve.
I'm sorry, I just got to highlight this. Dr. Catmilk once again proving he is the wittiest man in chat. His answer is Idris Elba.
Yeah. I was like waiting for you to jump on that.
Well played. That's a long-standing joke of fans of the Recast podcast.
Well, if it's a BBC show, they'll definitely cast it.
Hey-o, there you go. All right, coming in from Carstairs Cowboy on the Twitch side of things to the panel. What are your thoughts on firearms ownership advocacy groups, and do you think that some of them are doing more harm to the firearms community than good? And if so, who? We have strong opinions on this as a kind of collective group, but I'll let each individual person talk about this. I think the person probably most qualified to talk about this this topic is our buddy Steve, and I'll let him start it off.
Absolutely.
So firearms advocacy group, Steve, are they, first of all, do you like them as a whole? Are they a net positive or a net negative to the community? And if they are that way, in whatever way you think, which ones are your favorites, which ones are your least favorites, and what was the final part of the question? If they're doing more harm than good, who is it? Who do you think?
I will always say that if you are passionate about a cause, whether it's firearms or anything else, being part of an advocacy organization is always a good idea. You're always stronger when you're working with other people who share your passion and your goals. And the question then is like, what are you doing to be effective, and what is that efficacy, and how are you playing with other people in the same space, right? So I think there's definitely a place. You want groups that are more nimble, a little smaller, like firearms.
FPC, GOA,
FPC, GOA.
Yep.
Thank you. Yeah, Firearm Policy Coalition, the Gun Owners of America. And people crap on the NRA, and so this is my controversial statement of the day. Which is definitely worthwhile, but it is also worth recognizing for a long time that the NRA was sort of the only game in town. Right. But I think you've definitely seen a bad, and this happens. Well, I mean, when advocacy groups get big. Sure, it happens. Sometimes they have like mission creep. And
Steve, I think the best way to describe this might be there's a difference in looking back and understanding the history of the advocacy group, and then just solely looking back on the NRA with rose-tinted glasses. There's a very, very big difference in those things. Like, I don't think that there's anything wrong saying that the NRA kind of held the torch for a very, very long time, but under Wayne LaPierre's tutelage,
especially the past 2 decades,
and Marion Hammer, the two of them fucking clubbed it in the kneecaps and took it as their own personal piggy bank. Go ahead, Andy.
Well, it's also one of those things with any organization. The longer it lasts, the more likely it is to get corrupted. And then not only that, but once a system becomes corrupted, it's hard to get it back to the way where you want it to be.
Very
again.
true. Very true. Yeah. And we've had friends of the channel. We've had personal friends. And kind of friends by extension, all try to run for the board of directors for the NRA over the years, and we've heard how incredibly corrupt of a process it is, just even trying to dethrone the current reigning kings of the NRA, how set up it is against new people coming in and trying to make any form of change. And where I stand personally on the subject is pretty much in the exact same position that Steve has, is saying that the more grassroots campaigns, the smaller up-and-comings, and not really necessarily even all that small. You can't really call GOA and FPC a small grassroots company or nonprofit legal organization. They are very impactful on the national stage now, so we want to give credit where credit's due. But in terms of the... Go ahead, Andy.
And it's also important to realize that, hey, even though you can bad talk the NRA as long as you have, it's existed for so long, and it's not a bad idea to even just try to do something if you can.
Sure.
But chances are of you changing anything is very slim.
Some form of advocacy is better than doing absolutely nothing.
Right, and if you want it to do what you want it to do, you gotta at least throw your hat in the ring. And if you don't get what you get, then move on to something else.
Correct. Yeah. Figure out what your, cup of tea is, your brand, your brand is essentially. Now I am not I am not an expert when it comes to the NRA. I have a very top-down understanding, non-detail oriented understanding of their impact on our culture. And from everything that I've known is the actual NRA, what we understand to be the NRA, the Marion Hammer stuff, the Wayne LaPierre stuff, that is the major problem. The NRA ILA, which is, if I'm not incorrect, the legislative branch of the NRA, still is rather effective on the national stage, and they are kind of the better side of the tainted coin, if you will.
Right.
But I could be very wrong in that. It's just what I've understood throughout the course of time.
We've described them as they're the 800-pound gorilla that you send into the room to get everybody focused on them. You let them fight that machine while the lawyers and the other guys kind of go like, okay, where can we actually find a middle ground and whatnot? While those two guys are just blasting on each other for a while. And that tends to work. It's been working. It's been doing pretty well as far as everything takes too long.
And I will as we move on from this question, I will kind of subnote this or footnote this by saying I am not a fan of politics in general. I'm a one issue voter pretty much. And that's, are you going to leave my guns alone? Cool. We can be friends. I am not a fan of the political discussion associated with firearms, even though I know it has to be had. There's just better forums than this to do it, in my opinion. I like to have the fun and show the fun side of being a gun nerd. When it comes to what we say here, especially on this particular topic, understand it's all personal opinion, and it's all probably knowledge that, especially when it comes to me, knowledge that is probably out of date. So I don't know necessarily the intricate details of what I'm talking about on this subject. And I know that this subject has been the cause of controversy and drama associated with other gun tubers before. Let it be known, I have never claimed to know what the fuck I'm doing. Let it be known. That's all I'm going to say. Next question going to be coming in. If you guys are just joining us, we're doing an Ask Us Anything. Make sure to post your questions up in the chat for me to see. This is coming from Roboman, and this is also to the panel. What guns should I take to the range on New Year's Day? The 500 Bushwhacker and my 10 gauge, along with, on New Year's Day. He's asking, is it the 500 Bushwhacker and my 10 gauges, along with my 308 and 40? It sounds like you already have your mind made up. You're just bragging.
All of them.
My question is, do they shoot? And can you carry them all?
That's true. That is true. Yeah. Do you have enough people to carry them all? And do they actually shoot? I wonder. This is strange. Why is this happening? Okay, never mind. YouTube's just being weird. They'll never leave our guns. Hey, Alaskan Ballistics, what's up, my guy?
Hey,
another great
up,
friend
buddy?
of the channel. Got to meet Alaskan Ballistics awesomely down at the Iraq Veteran Shoot this year down in Georgia. All right, let's see. Yeah, so what do you take to the range with you? Yes, all of it. Take it
Pretty
all.
much.
Dr. Catmilk, we're way back up in the chat. He says James was at Gaston's bedside when he passed. Good job, James. Thanks for representing all of us.
There's 50% chance James Reeves is now the CEO of Glock.
That is, that is entirely possible. All right, for the panel from KNS Soze, he says, for the panel, I'm planning on doing a kit build, but can only afford to do one. So, AK-47 or RPK, which do you choose, and pros and cons of each? Is there anyone who wants to tackle this one first?
No.
Okay, I'll go first on this one.
Go for it.
I'll go first on this one. I will say 74 for the simple sake of practicality. Everything AK related has gone up in price from an exponential perspective. So building into one of the more common kits of the 74 is going to be your best bet for having a decent budget. And once again, we're talking about AK parts kits right now, which are going to be insanely expensive. So a common build, a common country 74 that gets you the performance that you want with still keeping the money down. From my understanding, RPKs are a little bit more rare in the AK world, and therefore, meaning they're more rare, you're probably going to be spending more money. I could be entirely wrong on this. I am not an AK aficionado at all, but just from my general top-down understanding of the AK market, if you're limited on cash and you want the most flexibility, go with the 74 over an RPK. I think it'll get you more bang for your buck. Steve, you're up.
That's a very well thought and reasoned answer that is completely wrong. Go for the cool factor, bro. Like, look, everyone, you know, like an AK is an AK is an AK. I know. I just made a bunch. I'm waiting for the ree in the comment section. But here's the thing: a lot of people will have an AK-74 or an AK-47.
Oh, nice.
But having an RPK is just kind of more cool and fun. And let's be honest, your real defense rifle should be an AR anyway. So that RPK is for fun, and go have fun with it, and it'll be cool, and you'll feel cool, and they are fun to shoot. But it's not ever going to be your defensive rifle for a host of reasons. So why would you make the practical decisions with it? I guess is what I would say. So go have fun.
Rudy, in relation to what we were talking about earlier, says, at Tundra Tactical, leaving guns alone is far different than giving me my rights back. And that is a very true 100%. Statement, sir. Very true statement.
Very, very, very. I think I'll
74 v RPK. What are you saying? Do you go with?
I think. Okay, go ahead, Andy.
Practical or fun?
For me, it's more along the lines of I have never held either of those, so I'd have to get my hand on one and see which one gives me a bigger grin.
Whichever
one gave me the biggest grin would be the one I got.
I can describe them to you very accurately. One is bigger, longer, and heavier, and goes bang harder, and the other is short and fast and a little bit more ergonomic, if you will.
Bigger, longer, uncut. Name of my sex tape.
Well, you see, like I said, it would still be whichever one gave me the bigger smile at the end of the day, because I've fired.
So you're voting more on entertainment purposes than you are in practicality.
Oh yes, because I got other guns to be practical with.
See, for me, if money is the issue and it's my first of something, I'm always going onto the practical side first. And then when that duplicate receiver comes in or that duplicate parts kit comes in, that's where I go with the fun side of things. But for me, like, I don't have an AK. So if I'm getting an AK first, the first AK that I'm going to get is a serious AK. The second one will be an RPK or something wild, you know, something cool to that effect. Steve, you were going to say something.
Well, no, I mean, as I said, I thought your argument was really well reasoned and thought out. I mean, that wasn't in jest, but like, to me, this is a decision about fun. But our man, Uncle Cushion, who is the AK autist of our group, has dropped some knowledge in the chat. He says go with the RPK 16, so it's in 5.45, and have fun.
There you go. There you go. Best of both worlds coming in. All right, let's keep going. Folks, if you guys are going to ask us questions, make sure you're highlighting your questions in the chat. If you're on Twitch, at Tundra Gaming Live. If you're on YouTube, highlight it with at Tundra Tactical. A couple of messages coming from the YouTube side of things. Let's see. How will America come to an end? Oh, do you guys want to tackle that one tonight?
No.
It won't.
It won't. Ooh, is it? See, the only thing that I'll say is, will it get to this point? You know, the Batman quote: "Will you die a hero, or will you live long enough to see yourself become the enemy?" Is that kind of what you're saying there, Steve, or the villain? Yeah.
No, my man, I'm just not doom and gloom about things anymore. Because I recently read a book of kind of like a broad history of the plague in Europe. You know, when like a third of the population in Europe died, and life went on. Nations stayed and held together.
And it was better than ever.
And I mean, you know, as Uncle Scrooge would say, once the surplus population. I'm just kidding, people.
Next thing, Steve's going to be advocating for like eugenics and shit.
No, he is the economic forum infiltrator. You know,
it was just a reminder. Like a third of the adult population died, and people still got married, had kids, went to church. Life went on because it had
found a way.
And
Dr. Ian Malcolm.
You know, like humans are resilient. we don't give ourselves enough credit. We're resilient. I mean, not saying like, something horrible happens, we're all going to make it. God knows, if cardio's involved, I'm out. I'm just building a foxhole, and you guys run.
Steve's
I'll
gonna
take
have
as
the
many as
most
I can with me.
supercharged fucking electric motor vehicle or electric scooter out there. He's gonna be ripping wheelies, fucking sending off rounds.
Fucking tactical rascal.
Oh, you love to see it. You love
So
to see it.
Tyler, what you're saying is you're worried that at one point we're all going to have to look at each other and ask if we're the baddies.
Yeah.
Are we?
Yeah.
Are we
right?
the baddies?
Well, and also you gotta always think that let's just say hypothetically the United States as it is now ends. There will be some form of the ideals that this country
Sure.
has.
Yeah, it transfers over.
Somewhere.
The cultural institutions will
Exactly
move and evolve.
It'll be very interesting regardless if that day ever comes, and I'm
But no,
sure
I don't.
that we'll figure it out in the end. Richard Cranium says the NRA backs RNC candidates. RNC chairwoman's the head honcho is Ronna Romney McDaniels, niece of Mitt Romney. That should explain everything. It certainly does, and we make fun of Mitt Romney in the next video. You'll probably like that. Did you have something to say,
Richard, I
Steve?
like my women older.
There you
We
go.
are into the next hour, so let's
let's go
3
ahead and
minutes
bring
over.
on the boys here. Give me 2 seconds.
maybe grab a question or two left. Don't ask any more. And then,
Honestly, I if you guys are okay with it, I'm just having a lot of fun with these AMAs. I would
sure.
prefer to run the AMAs, and if it dries up, then we go to 20 questions. But the chat is super active right now, and I would like to continue that on. I think we got a good forum going on here.
Captain, my captain, go for it.
All right. Give me a second, boys, and I will get you pulled up. I just got to pull this, and we have a spicy. And hold on.
Let's fucking go.
And we have a Kush.
Let's fucking
Yeah, let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, just added. Ladies and gentlemen, just added to our Ask Us Anything debate, discussion, and discussion topics for this evening. We have Spicy McDouche of ARFCOM fame, and most notably, the best-looking member of the Tundra Nation. And, of course, we have Mr. Uncle Cushion, who is our local Florida man and Rasputin impersonator. So welcome to the both of you to the chat. How are you both doing this fine evening?
I went to the range today. I'm pretty good.
Hell yeah, dude. I was watching you, man. I was watching you prepping up, testing out that belt and everything.
Yeah.
Whew, you got a smooth draw, baby. I'm liking it. I'm thinking it's looking good. I
broke my in waistband holster today.
Oh no.
Big
Yeah,
sad.
it has like a crack down the middle of it.
Hey, you know what?
Happens. Yeah.
We happen to know a guy who does holsters, so maybe we can hook you up. Maybe we can figure something
with a
out.
light on it.
Yeah, I was about to say, how many times are we gonna do this, Tyler?
One of these days, he's finally
One of these
gonna
days,
cave.
Scott. One of these
He's
days.
finally gonna cave, and we're finally gonna get him to do a
Hey,
light.
You know what? I think we should try some reverse psychology. I don't want you to do one with a light.
Yeah, Scott.
Thank you,
Stick
Steve.
to your
Thank you.
guns and stick to your holsters and
Thank you.
keep making the quality, fine product you do. Tyler can tell you, I show it off every time.
That he does.
Someone's around.
Yep.
So
Showed it off to Mike.
We're missing an opportunity here. Andy,
yes.
what happened to Scott with flashlights that he refuses to deal with them anymore?
That is
this
true,
seems like
yeah.
it's some sort of trauma from his past.
It does
and I
seem.
feel like you can let us in on this.
yeah,
Well, he did try to kill himself on my birthday when I was 16. So,
No, I did not.
What?
He's making shit up.
Okay.
Nah,
Whoa.
I did not.
He swung a
got
shovel.
heavy.
From my point of view,
Yeah.
it looked like he stabbed himself.
Did
so-
it have anything to
It
do
was
with
an
flashlights?
accident. It was an accident. He's wording it very poorly.
Hold on.
Actually, hold on.
My question is, did it have anything to do with flashlights, or are we just gonna dive into this? Like, I'm kind of game either way.
It's only the time I've ever been knocked unconscious.
Yep.
Oh.
Was him and his friends were having this little fire, and I came over and I was trying to break up some logs, and all I had was this old shovel, and I was like, "Oh,
please tell me you didn't bounce the
burnt.
shovel off the log."
No, it didn't bounce. It broke.
It broke.
And the top of the shovel came and hit me. There's a scar there somewhere, and
boy.
hit me, and I fell over. Was completely out for like, I don't know, half a second. It wasn't-
half a second.
And I came back up and I was like, "Ow, that hurt!" And then all they just were just staring at me because I just had blood just flowing down
Well,
my face. And
To be fair, I was off to the side.
to be fair,
and
To be
the
fair.
shovel he was using had a
Thank you,
very
Scott.
nice point to it.
right?
And so from my angle, He swung the shovel, it broke, and it looked from me like he impaled himself.
Ooh.
So my first thought is just like, oh great.
Now,
my
Andy,
brother just killed himself
are
on
you
my
the
birthday.
older or
That's
younger
pretty cool.
brother?
I'm the younger one.
Oh, see, that's a little traumatizing then.
No,
Yeah.
hold on. See, that's such a younger brother maneuver. Like, my brother just impaled
Stole
himself
my fucking
on my
thunder.
birthday because I'm the special baby child and
No, no,
everything
my
should be unique
fucking
and beautiful to me.
That motherfucker is
No, no.
always
How
one
dare
upping
he
me.
You didn't let me finish my
Injure
sentence. I
his
said,
brain on my birthday.
No,
it's like
I'm
now my
standing with
birthday is
Andy
going to
on
be
this.
associated with death and birth. This is terrible.
All right.
I'm
We're
with
di-
Andy
we're
on
diving
this.
in.
Just sitting out there drawing like yin yangs and like meditating in Buddha.
We're diving into
It's
some of the
life
pig
and
family
death.
history here.
I didn't
and
even need stitches. It was just a good cut, and I got knocked out for a second.
you know,
it wasn't that bad.
build some character for you. Build some character for you.
It
All
traumatized
right.
me, that's for sure.
Well, here we go. Our next question coming in from Twisted Geek.
Ooh,
Also, Spicy McDouche, thank you for the resub. I love you, baby. Okay,
Bro,
look-
I was
hey,
trying to do it before
Hey,
you
look,
brought us on. Like, hey, it's 10 o'clock.
look at the camera. Look at the camera. Huh? Look at me. Look at me. I fucking love you,
baby.
bud. You're the best. Mwah. Mwah.
Oh.
Anyways, hey, after Spicy and I have our moment here, next question coming in from Twisted Geek. He says, for the panel, other than an IO AK with an O-light, what combination of firearm and accessory would you pick as the most likely to spontaneously self-disassemble?
Ooh, I've got this one first.
So, okay, can we all agree the gun answer is Sky?
No.
I got a different one.
Oh,
I got a different
okay, okay. Cushion seems fairly confident. We're going to let him rock and roll. Cushy, you're up, baby.
Now, this is something that the rest of the panel cannot attest to, but Tyler, you can,
Okay.
because you were there. If you want a gun to self-disassemble,
Oh, I think I know where you're going with
hand
this.
it to Twisted, have him shoot it at a
Yes.
range,
Yes.
and then hand it back to you,
Yes.
and it will fall the fuck apart.
Yes, it will. He did it to. He broke. Twisted literally broke the CMMG 22 machine gun.
Yep. He was like,
Literally
"It's not
broke it.
working," and like pieces fell out of it.
Yeah, it
Pieces of the
literal
bolt
pieces
fell
of
out.
the bolt were falling out of the gun after he got done shooting it. And he did it to like 3 other guns that week too, or that shoot as well. There were 3 other guns that had to go down for maintenance, quote unquote, after Twisted Geek started shooting them. So yeah, anything that Twisted shoots, just keep.
Don't be the next guy.
Yeah, don't be the next guy.
That can be
That is
said for a lot of things that Twisty touches.
This is true.
Yep.
This is true.
Oof.
Don't be the next guy.
I love you, Twisty.
You know,
You know, he's
what
missing
has
his
Twisty
college as a-
done but ever just supported everyone here?
Oh, he's
And
given us
been-
given us more money
I
than
know,
damn
yeah.
near anybody else out there. And Twisty, we love you for that, but that also means you're one of the most roastable candidates of this panel.
He's one of the boys. We love him.
Well, he's just missing his calling as a QA tester.
That there you
100%.
go. There, can it pass the Twisted test?
That's a good one.
That's a very
Twisted does nothing but
whoever did that.
all of
Thank
our
you very
lives.
much. My thought process is it was Twisted. Also, we have a hype train that's close. All right. Dr. Catmilk, we'll get there in just a second. Actually, we'll get there right now. Dr. Catmilk coming on in from the Twitch chat. This is to the panel as well. That one got me actually pretty good. And I think it kicked off the hype train. Yep. All right, here we go. Dr. Catmilk would like to know for the panel, what was the first Glock the panel has ever purchased?
Like Glock 19.
Yep, Glock 19. Uncle Cushion,
Not fucking never.
not fucking never. He is a CZ fanboy till the day he
It's not,
dies.
it's not even that I'm a CZ fanboy.
Yes, it is.
I just drink Glock flavored Haterade on the daily.
Oh, he secretly loves Glocks. He just won't admit to it.
Your hate will keep me warm tonight.
The first semi-automatic handgun I
hate's
did
gonna burn you
shoot
up, kid.
was a Glock, but
Oh,
it was a
there you go.
Glock 23.
There you go.
But
that's
then I
unfortunate.
learned,
40, huh?
yeah. Then I learned the ways, and I was like, oh, this feels like shit in my hands compared to like almost anything else.
Is it because of the grip angle?
Yeah, and the fact that it's blocky and it's just fucking dumb.
We're gonna do a video one of these days on grip angle and the argument of why that's just not fucking valid.
The grip angle of your dangle.
Yep, exactly. We're gonna do a video on that, and we're gonna heavily feature Uncle Cushion, I think, in the video. Spicy, what was your first Glock ever purchased?
It's the one I'm carrying. It's a 19.
What?
It's a Gen 4 19 MOS. It's all clapped out now and is getting all the parts replaced on it.
How does it feel about being all clapped out now?
It won't lock back reliably. Other than that, it doesn't really feel any different.
I keep
There
telling
you
people
go.
you got to join GSSF, go to a match, and they'll fix all that for you.
There
for free.
you go.
yeah.
Stevie, your first Glock ever purchased, what was it?
Block 21 and the Lord's Caliber 45.
I am
There we
so
go.
sorry for you. I am
I actually
so
liked it. I mean, it's like if Lego made a gun,
sure.
but I mean the ergonomics of it. But I actually I don't know. I like shooting it and stuff. I actually bought one of those. It was a range
21's
toy.
actually a pretty good shooter, but
Yeah, it was a great range toy. And
giant fucking gun for what it is.
You'll laugh,
Cool.
Tyler. I bought one of those CAA chassis for it.
Oh no.
And dude, I had
You
so many
bought
people come
one?
over to the range, to me at the range, like, what is this? And
Yeah.
stuff.
Was it in pink zebra patterns?
No,
Yeah,
it was
right.
boring. It was gray and boring. I was just like
okay.
bored. Like, dude, it was the pandemic. I had so much time on my hands and I was bored. I could go to the range every day. And that is like the worst place to put me because I will just start doing stuff for sheer entertainment value.
Wow.
Like, I was like, I saw that
I'm
CAA.
guilty. I'm guilty.
I had a Glock 21 that I bought because I just got a good price on it.
Wow.
And I was like, whatever. And then like 6 months later, I saw an ad for that chassis and I'm like, yeah, and my brain went, that looks stupid fun. Do it. threw a cheap SIG red dot on it.
I can
blasted away
afford that.
with it. Went through all my 45 ammo, then cleaned it up and sold it off.
There you go. All right, we're gonna move on to our next question here, unless anybody else has anything they want to say on that. All right,
Keep
I'm
going.
trying to find
Clock strong.
I do, so Bloodvow says at Tundra Tactical, you don't have a Wasser at this point. And no, I don't. I had the opportunity many times to buy Wassers when they were $400 to $600, and
I never grabbed one.
and that was kind of at the start of my adult gun buying experience. I was fully committed to the AR lifestyle, and I'll be honest with you guys, I'm very upset at myself that I at least never picked up a cheap AK.
Yeah, I had a couple opportunities for like a $399 Wasser 10, and
Holy
never
fuck.
went for it.
Yeah. I just can't get over how much the AKs have jumped. And
I know, right? They're more than the ARs now. Did,
Some of them.
An SKS is more than an AR.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
true.
Alaskan Ballistics says, what should I shoot into ballistics gel with a peel shoulder in front of it? I don't know.
Peel shoulder?
What is a peel shoulder?
Do they mean like a pig shoulder?
Maybe
Pork shoulder?
Pork shoulder? Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Let's just assume it's a pork shoulder. What would you
Yeah.
want to destroy a pork shoulder with?
Something
he was
massive.
doing it for mobile. I bet he meant pork.
If it's
I actually
if
have
it's
some
him-
scientific experience with that and a slow
Yeah,
motion
let's hear
camera.
it, Spicy.
if-
Yo,
if-
look at Spicy's eyes sparkle.
Let's go. Let's
and
hear
like,
it.
he's like, wait a minute,
Shooting
sir.
shoulders.
I am a subject matter expert.
It's one of those weird things that you get to take a
DLS?
trip to Arizona and then shoot shit with Andrew, and we bought like 3 pork butts and shot them with this on the slow mo camera. It was fun.
You got to
Fuck
shoot him
yeah,
with a
man.
458 SOCOM. You just have to.
Yeah, we had 4570.
Okay, that's one.
12 gauge, 10 millimeter, and 9
Yeah,
millimeter, I believe.
370,
my black powder rifle I'd add to that, but those are a bunch of rounds that I'd like to shoot something.
357 Magnum, but out of a lever gun, like a long barrel, out of a rifle.
Okay.
Okay.
Get the
Gotcha.
extra speed. I want to see what it does with the extra. Because I mean, we've all seen them. We've all seen Paul Harrell shoot the meat target with
Sure.
357 Magnum, but a handgun. But let's see with the big rifle.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, there's plenty of big rounds. Essentially, I think we all agree. Like you just want to see damage.
Pretty
Sounds fun
much.
to me.
Yep. I want to see 458 SOCOM.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
too.
with the black butterfly hollow points.
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I would Alaskan Ballistics, you out of any of us have the most justification to own a 458 SOCOM. I'm actually pretty sure that you do already. And that's what I want to see. I want to see meat exploding from a 458 SOCOM. It definitely sounds like it could be the title of Steve's sex tape too. Ooga booga motherfucker.
Ooga booga.
Primo explosions. Primo.
Yes, primo horse nut explosions from Uncle Cushion. Anyways, you'll get that joke tomorrow if you watch the YouTube channel. There's a new video
I've been
coming
laughing
out.
about that all day.
It was so hard for me to record with a straight face, man. I'm not gonna even deny it. Your 458 SOCOM is down, Alaskan Ballistic says. Do it for me. Title your video, Tundra Tactical told me to shoot my 458 at the SOCOM, or 458 SOCOM at the range today. That's what you title your video, not in that specific word order.
Don't actually shoot at the SOCOM. That's going to be a bad idea. For you, probably.
That would be definitely bad. But
feel free to print a picture of Tyler as your target.
100%. You have my permission. Tundra Tactical told me to shoot my 458 SOCOM at the range today. My face on the thumbnail. You'll get 10 views. I guarantee it. All right, we have another.
I'll sign into my other account too.
There you go. We have another question coming in from 14 Morbid, and he would like to know, I just quote unquote acquired a 20-inch FN15 M16A4 clone. Should I buy an ACOG or an LPVO? Also open to any optics suggestions, really. Well, okay, here's the bit.
Come on, you're gonna go with the full length, and you got to go carry handle.
No,
Come on,
it's an
bro.
FN.
Is it A4?
Yeah, if it's an A4 configuration, which he says it is, it has to be an ACOG.
It's a must.
Yeah, no.
I mean, do what you want if you can't afford an ACOG, but
that is
would
true.
Be fun, yeah.
That
I
is
would
true.
actually, gentlemen,
Get a fake cog. Get a Chinesium one.
Primary arms 5X.
Oh
Prism.
shit! Hey, Cushion, what was the name of that company?
Or an M68.
Hold on. No, this is a full on break. What was the name of that company at Gunstock? Spicy, you might be able to tack in on this as well. That had that detachable pistol brace. Was that One Shot?
Yeah, One Shot Systems.
Okay, somebody actually came in and said, at Tundra Tactical, have you guys gotten to mess with any of the One Shot Systems pistol stocks?
It's Tom. It's our buddy Tom.
Oh, that's our buddy Tom?
Yeah, it's Missouri Tom.
Oh, okay. I can't tell that from the screen, unfortunately.
What up, Tom?
Hi, Tom. Tom, by the way, Tom, thank you for looking all over the country for an ammo sponsor for us. Even if you were unsuccessful, we appreciate you doing what you do. Anywho, we'll get to Tom's question here in just a second. What were we just on?
The A4.
So
M16A4.
my thought process is, if it's an A4, it's got to have an ACOG.
No. Get yourself look. If you've got the money for an ACOG, get an ACOG. Just period.
Get an RMR on top though.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Let's just
Or
get
a
that height
voodoo.
overboard.
Whoa,
7 or 8
spicy.
inches.
Come on. You're putting lipstick on a pig, man.
You
Come
gotta,
on.
You gotta
Hold
remember who you're talking to. Spicy's probably shooting with nods on, so he's gonna be running passive shooting anyways. So that height over bore is perfect for him.
Oh, dude, that would be such a pain in the dick though, with an ACOG.
Oh yeah.
And like the trying to.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
that'd be awful.
Go old school Vietnam era commander scope, the 1.4.
Oof.
Gosh.
If you're gonna have a carry handle, don't look.
No, it's no carry handle because it's an A4.
I thought
Yeah.
I thought we said he had a
They
carry
have
handle.
detachable
No,
carry
no.
handles. That
Well,
you
yeah,
can
they have
put.
detachable ones, but like no one's
Oh,
doing
it's
that
the
because
FN.
if you,
It's the FN. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
the A4 is when they went flat top.
just get a prism scope and
Correct.
have fun.
There you go. All right. Can we move on? Can we move on to the next question here?
Sure.
So I missed this one from Brizzy a little bit earlier, but this is coming over from the YouTube side of things. This is at
Brizzy?
Tundra Tactical. What's that?
Nothing. I said Brissy.
Brizzy, Brizzy.
Oh, okay.
for shizzy, my brizzy.
There you go. He says at Tundra, or they say at Tundra Tactical, what is each of the panels EDC, including pocket knives and everything carried? By the way, this is on YouTube. Don't show the guns.
Oh, I totally forgot about that. Earlier. Sorry.
You were not on camera, so don't worry about it. Yep. No, it was just backstage stuff. So
Yeah,
it
we
wasn't.
didn't see it.
Yeah,
Well, I
nobody
kind of
saw
was
anything.
like,
You almost. You're good.
we talked about Glocks earlier.
Oh,
Yeah, my microphone got excited.
that's all right.
Well, you
Yeah.
didn't do anything.
Okay,
It
so I
happens.
totally showed you a squirt gun.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
That's what it was. That's all it was. It was a squirt gun. It's an airsoft gun. All right, let's start off with Steve. What is your EDC, sir? Including everything. And you actually do have kind of a legitimate EDC. A lot of us just carry a gun. You don't.
No, so I have a it kind of looks like a pocket protector in terms of
It
size.
really does.
But basically it helps me put everything that I normally put in my pocket. So my pistol is just the compact Sig 320 in a precision holster.
Hey.
But then like in terms of the other stuff in my pocket, I have a Gerber Leatherman multi-tool kind of thing. I do the Gerber instead of the
You got the slide. You slide the side to it. It's not a fold out.
No, it's a fold out.
It is a fold out.
It's fold out, yeah. And the reason I do that is it's got a really good clip on it, so it stays
Sure.
in the thing.
I know which one you have. Yeah, that's a nice one.
Instead of my nicer one. Also, it's like if I lose it, I'm not going to cry that much about it. I have a little field manual. It's about this big. I shouldn't say field manual, like field pocket, so I can write notes to myself.
Notebook.
It's on waterproof paper. I have a Fisher Space Pen, which
my
is
goodness.
great
Dig it.
because you can write upside down with it, which is nice. So you can just any angles, and it's pressurized, so it always has ink. It never runs dry unless there's no ink in it at all. And then I keep a big ass Sharpie in there as well because a Sharpie is always handy to have around. And then there's a pouch on the side of it that I stuff my credit cards in, and I keep like $50 in like small bills on me because it's always good to have some cash. And that's kind of the mojo. I've been looking for like a real nice flat flashlight, but the ones I've seen either are not durable enough or I don't trust them. And my whole thing is like I just want to be able to everything's in one container. Literally, I can pack it up, shove it in my pocket. That's everything except for my CCW, and I'm good to go out the door. So there you go.
Awesome. Thank you, Steve. Scotty, Andy, if you carry, and what do you carry as your EDC in completion, not just the gun?
I don't think they don't let you carry stuff at the studio, do they?
At the station, no.
No.
But all I have is just a knife. That's it.
Okay, so yeah, knife and
Andy,
and
give
just-
us a quick little quantification of that. What do you do for work?
Oh, I work at a TV station.
Okay.
So can't have any guns, can't have anything. The only
That's
thing
a
I can have-
bummer.
yeah, the only thing I can have is a knife, and I use that mostly for knife thing.
You
you
use it
your
mostly
phone
for
a
knife
flashlight,
things.
don't you?
Mhm.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Spicy, your EDC including that includes kind of everything. Go ahead.
Tourniquet.
Yeah, 2 cat tees, depending on what pants I'm wearing.
Are you running
Maybe
ankle
one.
carry for your cats?
No, I have them in a pocket. I usually wear these like cargo pants. So 2 of them in the left pocket. My Zin in the right pocket. And then I have the ankle rig for the other stuff. A fixed blade knife and waistband, a reload, a Glock squirt gun, multi-tool, a flashlight, and a pocket knife.
You are
And
such a
some
bro.
Burt's Bees. And some Burt's Bees.
Gotta have the Brixby's.
Yeah. No, the Burt's
Very nice.
like the chapstick.
Bees.
Gotta have the Brixby's, man. It'll save your life quite often. It'll save your comfort quite often, at least. Spicy, thank you very much. Cushy, hit us with you.
I carry a CZP-10C in a Black Rhino concealment holster because they
Sorry.
actually make one for that model. If there was other companies that made one for that model, I probably would buy one.
I carry it in a precision holsters. Like you gotta like dub over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, we're just gonna
Do it
delete whatever he says and
Do
just
it
say
again.
precision
Do it again,
holsters.
Cushy. You do what?
Yeah, just mouth it.
I carry in a Black Rhino
Precision
concealment.
holster.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
Does not
Um,
understand dick stuck in toaster.
Yeah, nope, don't
What?
understand that. It would have to be big enough to get stuck.
That's right.
I carry for a knife. It's not out here right now, but little Bowen fixed blade knife, short little like 2.5-inch blade. Really nice, stays nice and sharp. Normally carry cat tea in one of my pockets. Usually there's diapers and wipes,
Sure.
hair ties. Average girl dad stuff. As far
Average
as
girl
that
dad
goes.
stuff. I can empathize with that completely.
And the vape goes with me all over the place.
Duh.
Yeah, got a chooch.
All right. For me, my EDC is my 80% arms GST9 as my main everyday carry. If I'm feeling really spicy, I'll carry my Yugo M57 in 760 by 25, although that doesn't happen ever.
You gotta feel real spicy to carry that one.
Yeah,
This
that's
appendix
real
carry that bad boy.
Oh,
no
hell
problem.
yeah. And the safety's broken on that. I can fire that gun without pulling
Oh.
the trigger. As soon as I click the safety on it, the hammer falls.
Some would say that's a feature.
Yeah, I would say that's a feature too. That's one less step in the draw and present process. I don't
Your
have
femoral
to.
artery might have a different opinion,
Nah,
but
that's what trigger discipline's for, man. You don't touch the
that's where you
trigger
got the
until you're
cat
ready to
tea.
shoot. Exactly. I do not pocket carry a cat T, but I usually have one either in a backpack or very close to me, almost at all times, if not multiple. Whether it's in the diaper bag or on my person. And yeah, that's about it. I don't carry, I don't do an ankle carry. I don't do a EDC med kit. But for the most part, like most of the time, like if I'm leaving my house, it's point A to point B and it's friendly spot to friendly spot.
I usually keep that stuff in my truck. I'll be honest.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
So
almost
usually
never
if
have
I have it, it's in my vehicle. If I have
If
like
I'm going to be at a big venue event, I might keep it on me. But
correct, yeah.
Otherwise, yeah.
For the most part, like my day to day, I don't ever leave my house unless I'm going to some place that I know. If I am going out to, let's say, like a hockey game or a football game or something like that, I might carry a little bit more with me. But for the most part, yeah, it stays in my vehicle because it's never more than probably 20 feet away from me anyways. If I'm out of it, or 30 feet away from me anyways if I'm out of it. So yeah, that's the answer to that question. Let's move on here. Let's see. Oh, here's a good one. By the way, if you guys are just joining us, we're doing an Ask Us Anything segment of the show. So if you guys would like to ask a question to myself as a gun tuber, or to anybody else in the panel that is associated with gun tubers that do a lot of shooting, Spicy's kind of our medical expert. Cushy's kind of our AK expert. Scotty's our holster expert and general gun consensus stuff. And Steve is your expert in all things cool. So if you have anything that you guys want to ask
our
any of
Fonz.
us, yeah, exactly. Hey. If you guys have anything that you'd like to ask this eclectic group of individuals, please go ahead and ask them. This segment and this show will keep going on for as long as we have questions coming in. As soon as they stop, we'll call the show. And if we keep going till 1 a.m, we'll probably keep going till 1 a.m. In the meantime, we have a new question coming in. By the way, if you are going to ask the questions, if you're on YouTube, make sure to tag me at Tundra Tactical. If you're on Twitch, tag me at Tundra Gaming Live, or highlight your message using channel points.
Booga, 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 booga.
Yes. Thank you. Whoever did that. Here we go. Carstairs Cowboys says, for the crew, if you could pick the firearms from a single non-U.S. peer nation army or military, whose stuff would you take and why? That is a very good question. I think I have an answer to it, but who would like to go first on this one? A single non-U.S. peer country. Now,
I'll go first.
okay.
Go for it,
Here's
Cushy.
my only question, and you guys are gonna have to help me out with this because I have to stay back in the chat. So you guys are gonna have to look at the update on this. Here's my only question, Carstairs: are we talking about technology peer, or are we talking about might peer? Like somebody who's very technologically advanced but a very small country, or are we talking about somebody who doesn't have a lot of technology but is very advanced in terms of just being able to field a bunch of power onto the battlefield. Because I think that is a very, very big qualifying factor for this question. If it's not a qualifying factor, is there anyone on the panel right now that would like to go first?
Sure, Canada, because it's close enough.
Hell yeah. CF-18 still do the job, dude.
Yeah.
CF-18 still do the job. They're still good jets. Anybody else that would like to go on this?
Question says, I'll leave that to your discretion interpretation.
Okay. I'm going to say it doesn't necessarily have to be a military might peer. It's more of a technology peer. My answer to this question is I would go with Israel and the X-95. It's the only bullpup that I actually like and that I actually endorse. I hate all bullpups equally, save for the X-95. I actually do kind of enjoy that gun, and I do think that it's a pretty solid fighting rifle platform.
That was going to be my answers.
But do they make it in pink anime like the AUG?
Possibly. I'm sure if
Look.
you ask nicely enough, they could.
And if as long as it's got carbon, you can put any picture you want on there.
And if your name's Brandon Herrera and you have a big enough audience, you can probably get whatever the fuck you want anyways. So hey,
True.
Yeah, why not say yes to that question? The other reasons why I would pick Israel, if we're just talking about like overall military might, their Merkava tank's pretty awesome. A lot of the Negev's pretty dope. They've got a lot of stuff. The Galil, if you're gonna go classic, pretty all right stuff.
And all their stuff's pretty well tested in combat because they're always in combat.
Yes. Scotty, if you had to pick firearms from any single non-U.S. peer nation military, whose stuff would you take and why?
So I'm just trying to think of which country just basically we supply all their stuff to.
Canada.
Ukraine.
Yeah. He took Canada, so then I'm thinking.
But okay, so here's the thing: you can't say Ukraine because it does specifically say peer nation.
No, I'm going to go with
Ukraine is not a peer nation.
I have an answer.
Okay.
It's South Korea.
Yeah, and that is the correct answer, honestly. Even though, in all fairness, they don't actually take a lot of their military equipment from us, they are still a peer nation, I would say.
But a lot of it's inspired by and looks the same. AR-180s. Come on.
Yep, AR-180s, F-16 knockoffs. Yep, it's very peer nation. So I agree with that. I like that answer. Let's go with Stevie next.
Restroom.
I'm not hearing you at all, Steve.
Yeah,
you're muted.
You're muted.
Oh no!
I was chewing for a second.
I
think, guys, I wear my bouginess on my sleeve.
Yes, you do.
It's the sparkle that lights my life and my path. And I'm gonna have to go.
I love you, Spicy.
I'm probably gonna go. Oh, I want to go Austria because I just love all things Steyr. But let's be honest, the bougie answer and the honest answer in my heart is Germany. And I'm gonna be an H&K fanboy.
All right.
I'm gonna wear the hat with the logo and the shirt with the logo.
You're gonna
and
have
the
a
jacket with
G36
the logo. I want an Adidas tracksuit with the logo.
Sorry.
So what you're saying is you're gonna have a G36.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have some awesome tanks too.
All right, you love to see it. The Leos are
Maybe
very
a
well
Porsche
loved.
tank. Who knows?
The leopard's real.
The Leos are very well loved in the international community. I believe that brings us to Spicy. Is our last contestant on this one?
No, he already said Canada.
Oh, he already said Canada. That is correct. I'm sorry, Spicy.
Sticking
South
to
Korea
it.
because the Daewoo made that one ride with but missiles in it. Okay, so they made a gun with missiles in it. Nice, good for Daewoo. Guns and cars, or excuse me, guns with missiles and cars. That's what they do. Let's see. Are you carrying off body is all from Tom? My class is complete and I'm starting to teach it. I feel like the only person that is qualified even to come close about talking to off body carry is Spicy. Do you have anything you want to talk about with this?
It really depends if you're going into something like we're talking about my
I'm
wife's
sorry,
purse.
Spicy.
Say what?
Could we just define, like, for the layperson maybe what off body carry is?
So you're going to put a firearm in a bag, preferably in a holster, You know what I mean? And it's going to be not on your person, but in close proximity adjacent to you, riding around in a car, in a purse, something to that nature.
It's the least preferred form of carry.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, for a lot of reasons, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
I mean, it has its advantages in some scenarios, but yeah, there's a very good reason why holsters are the preferred method of carry. Continue on, Spicy. Sorry.
Oh no, I mean, it's one of those things. A lot of people are in this mindset of like, okay, I can carry a bigger gun in this bag, and I would encourage you to try to carry like a medium-sized gun on your person. But
Yeah.
a lot of times, I think people kind of defer to bag carry because of comfort and because
Sure.
they're trying to work with something that's either not working with their body type, or maybe it's the size of the gun. Maybe they don't have a good holster. I love my 365 holster from Scott because it's really small, doesn't have a huge footprint. There's not a bunch of extra material. So, I mean, if
Yeah,
you're,
it's almost nothing works for a lot of ladies if they want to be
Yeah.
fashionable. That's the
yeah,
that comes
that's the
down
thing.
to
If you're
like
talking about ladies, yeah.
Yep.
it's almost always ladies.
It's
and
usually
always-
very different conversation between ladies and guys. But
and
let's
it's,
assume
yeah.
let's assume for a second that we're talking about just guys. For
Sure.
Spicy, continue with your answer.
I mean, so you have that Vertex like fanny pack thing.
Mhm.
A lot of people kind of want a fanny pack carry. My boss is one of them. He has back problems, so in waistband is pretty much not an option ever, comfort wise. So at that point, I mean, it's a doable situation
Sure.
for a fanny pack for sure. I think fanny pack's a lot better than like a messenger bag or a bigger backpack.
Sure.
A lot of the bigger
Yeah.
CCW backpacks that have like a compartment in there for a gun, I'm thinking, cool, I could stash another gun in there,
Yeah,
or
exactly. It's
reloads
not
or
the
something
primary.
else. Yeah, but at that point, it's like, man, you really gotta get some time actually practicing
Sure.
drawing that from a bag. But at the same time, you can get good
Well,
at
and
anything.
I think you
Maybe it
nailed
works
it
for
right
somebody.
there. Yeah, exactly. You nailed it right there. You can get good with anything if you practice enough. It
Right.
just
It's-
it kind of
it's
depends
no-
on your dedication to that method of carry that you decide to choose. If it's off body, great. If you train with it, if it's not, if you don't train with it and you just think it's an easier or more comfortable version of carry, you're kind of probably setting yourself up for a little bit of failure.
Well, you absolutely are. Is it, number one, it will even just carrying in towards the back or whatever
Sure.
on the waist, in the waist, in a backpack. One, no matter what, it will be slower. So now you're looking at everything. You have to be ready because you have to have a threat, and if that threat doesn't happen until it's super close to you, then you're kind of out of luck. And then it's always going to be less defensible. So you're less defensible.
Baptized by Fire on the YouTube side of things says fanny pack shouts. I'm packing.
I think
a
fanny
gun
pack
here.
is the best, the closest thing to an off-body kind of carry
I'm not
bag
necessarily
situation.
opposed to it. I'm not necessarily opposed to it, especially like that Vertex bag that I have, that I got from Tom. Tom, sorry, I know sore subject right now. But Tom did give me a bag from Vertex that I very, very much enjoy for a small form factor carry, like a micro or a subcompact frame. I do very much like that bag, but it's dependent on your situation. I think Spicy said it the best. If you're doing it strictly because of comfort, there's probably a better way to do things. If you're doing it because of a body type limitation or something else that would prevent you from carrying a gun in the first place, and
Handicap,
exactly, and you've trained to get your gun out of that garment or that bag or what have you, then you're probably in a halfway decent spot. I don't think that it matters as much as a lot of people say it does, but it just depends on your personal situation and how invested into the training you are for that individual situation. Spicy, I think, absolutely nailed it by saying you could carry a second gun. It could be a backup option. It could be your backup gun option. If you're carrying a full-on backpack like a sling bag or a messenger bag, that could be for an AR while your pistol is a normal carry. There's a ton of options that an off-body carry can open up for you, provided you have the right training. I think we're all good in agreeing with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve, do you have anything you want to say on that subject?
No, I think you guys have covered it.
Fair enough.
Is it an option? Yes. Is it the best option? Likely not.
In the absence of I think nothing else, sure, but train better.
Well, so I do have a lot that I would like to say on this. I just don't want to drag it out. I have been off body carrying for years, and I've actually very much enjoyed it. But I've also put a lot of time and training into the off body carry, and that's kind of become my new default. I am unfortunately not running a precision holster, because the motherfucker won't make a holster for my gun that involves my light. So thank you, Scott. But one day we'll convince you. Well, one day we'll convince you. Until that time, I am running off-body carry. I'm fairly confident in my off-body carry, and I'm okay with it. But you know, it's all about training. It's all about how much time and effort. Yeah. Just asking to see if you're using the shit that I gave you. I absolutely am, Tom.
Are not comfortable with printing and clothes that they wear and whatnot. They're just not comfortable with it. And if it gets you carrying, yeah, go for it. But there's extra responsibility and training involved.
Exactly. All right.
And I think there's a lot of more there's so many more options for ladies now.
Sure.
That there are so many better small guns like your 365s and things of that nature that there's a good balance, I'm sure, out there for, again, so many variables going into that.
Sure.
But ask some friends, Google.
All right.
Go on Discord.
Coots Magoots, our normal writer for this segment of the show, which we're not doing right now for the second weekend in a row because we're having too much fun answering your questions. Coots Magoots comes in to ask a very poignant question, I think, for all of us right now, and he would like to ask, what are your firearms related goals for 2024? So for next year, we're on the cusp of the new year, gentlemen. This is the final show of 2023. We forgot to kind of pub that, but yeah, this is the final show of 2023.
If you didn't know that it's almost New Year's, surprise, motherfucker!
Hey, welcome to alcoholism. I've been there for years. Hey, so yeah, when it comes to this question, what are my firearms related goals? Boy, I do believe that is one of the tougher questions I've ever been asked. And I think that applies to a lot of us on this channel with how... that motherfucking mic arm. I think it applies to a lot of us with how invested we've become in the firearms industry, especially over this last year. I think that Kush and Steve exclusively, when I say this, can agree with me in saying this has probably been the best year over year, like overall total number of successes for Tundra that we've seen as a group together. And that's a great thing to say. That's a fantastic thing to say, but it also kind of broadens the horizons for us a lot more, where while we would have niched down into some subtopic or something very specific, we feel a little bit more comfortable covering a broader topic these days. And when it comes to that question, like, what are your firearms goals? Man, I don't know. If I'm brutally honest with you, I genuinely don't know, because the easy answers are stuff like to shoot guns that I've never shot before. And that list is getting harder and harder to satisfy every year that I do this. And I think that Kush and Steve can echo this opinion very much. I mean, Kush, Steve, you guys have gotten to shoot how many guns this year that would have been on your bucket list? Like stuff that you never would have thought would have been even available to you a couple of years ago. Like what are your memorable moments in terms of gun shooting from just this year alone? Kush, why don't you take it first?
12 gauge full auto shotgun. Like the 12 gauge full auto. I mean, what else is there really to say? How many people are going to get to do that? That wasn't even like something that was on my bucket list really, because it just wasn't something that like really occurred to me. It was like, I'll go shoot machine guns. I'm going to get to shoot cool stuff. When they were like, yeah, the machine gun that we have here today is a 12 gauge shotgun. I was like, oh, fuck yes, I'm all in.
That fish jumped in the bucket.
Kush was like, oh, I need new underwear.
And then at the other two events I went to, I got to shoot belt-fed machine guns.
Yep.
Which one of them was my
that's
plural gun.
Plural.
Yes.
By the way,
I just shot multiple different belt-fed machine guns. One of them, the M60s, my unicorn bucket list gun.
Yeah. So
it was
right.
so.
I take a lot of shit from the crew here. From time to time. And the way that
For
this
what?
works,
Exactly.
a lot of different
Being
stuff.
alive.
Pick
mostly.
something.
But a lot of this stuff, yes, I take shit for a lot of different things. But I will say this, in my defense, if I remember correctly, I believe that I paid for that machine gun shoot at Gunstock for you, Cushion.
Okay? I offered to put some money up to buy a few rounds because they were selling it per round.
Yes.
And it was, in groups of 10s, 10 rounds, 20 rounds, 30 rounds, 50, 100, whatever you're going to do. I was going to buy some rounds. Tyler was like, that's not enough rounds. And, I'm going to pay for this for you
Yes.
this time. My dude threw in some money
Yes,
to
and
extend the round, extend that belt a little
Exactly.
bit more.
And
It's a big belt, but I
this-
wasn't also complaining because it
Yes,
was free.
in this particular case at Gunstock this year, the ARFCOM shooting event that was hosted down in Waxahachie, Texas. This was before the M60 shoot, which was the following weekend at IV. And this was Cushion's very first time ever behind a belt-fed machine gun. So he was going to buy like 15 rounds or like 10 rounds. I was like, no, dude, that's not enough for a belt-fed machine gun. I'll do my best to help pay you for your time and your effort by buying you 30 total rounds. Like, I couldn't afford much at the time. And then, of course, very graciously, my dude tacked on another, $20-$30. So I think you got like 40 rounds or something like that, where you were just able to mag dump out of a 240. I think it was a 240 Golf, actually.
No, it was a
Did
Bravo.
it have
It was
the
a
top
Bravo?
cover or not?
It
had
was
the
a
top
Bravo,
cover then,
and it was
so
suppressed.
yeah.
It wasn't a golf.
Oh yeah,
From
and it
rugged
was
suppressors.
and it did have a suppressor as well. So, and then the following week you got to shoot your dream gun, which was
The M60.
and
And
that one hurt, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you, that one hurt because I actively gave up my position to shoot it because I should be the one on camera shooting guns. That's what people are tuning in for. But I was also saying, man, that'd be a super dick thing to say to somebody. Like, I've shot an M60 before, and that'd be a super dick thing to say to somebody who has not shot an M60 before. And
You
that's their
gotta
dream
give it
gun.
up, man.
So you're
you gotta let 'em.
goddamn lucky,
I
Cushion. I'm
think
kidding.
also
I'm kidding.
in the weeks leading up to these two different shoots, I do believe I said something to the effect of, if there's
I'm
an
shooting.
M60 and you shoot it and I don't get the opportunity to
You will quit.
because of that, you are out of a writer.
Yes.
I'm out.
Yep.
Because you already shot your unicorn gun at
Let's
at a gun
just
shop.
say your argument was better than mine, and you got to shoot the M60. What was that like?
It was good. There was a lot of mixed feelings afterwards. Kind of a feeling of shame I didn't know what to do with that my parents hadn't prepped me for.
Yeah. Gotta have that
needed
talk.
new pants.
Yeah. I literally watched your body lift up off the ground because of the erection that you got while fucking mag dumping that gun.
Immediately starts looking for plan B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like, we gotta deal with this situation now, boys.
Yeah, and for me to lift up off the ground is a big
Oh yeah,
feat
you're
because
not
I'm
a small human
guy.
being. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not a small human being. Definitely. No.
There is some footage of that tripwich. There is actually some slow-mo footage of it as well.
If I were to answer my firearms
Only
related
beards.com.
goals for this year, man, I don't think that mine is going to be nearly as exciting as you think. What I'm going to say is that I hope this year is better than all of my previous years in combination of trying to make firearms my lifestyle. So a lot of people think, hey, you're a gun tuber. You haven't worked a day job in 3 years. This is it for you now. No, it's not. It's a struggle every month to find a way to keep this going and to find a way to justify to my wife that this is the future that we need to have. Now, fortunately, I married the right girl and she's been on board from the get-go. She named the damn thing. She was the one that came up with Thunder Tactical. So I'm very fortunate to not have that pressure on my back. But at the same time, I'm also kind of obligated at that point to prove to her, to my family, to the extended family, to my parents, to everyone else that firearms is the future for me. And I've committed to that completely. It's just a matter of finding ways and finding people to take us to the next level. You know, finding those friends like Spicy and like Scott and like Steve and Kush to take us to those next levels. So I would say that my firearms goal for 2024 isn't necessarily associated with guns themselves. It's the connections that I can potentially make. People like Mike from CMMG, people like Tom, making those really good, solid connections and friendships that help take this channel to the next level. That's going to be my goal for my firearms related goal. It'll have firearms littered all across the path. So I feel like that's acceptable. Are you guys okay with that answer?
I dig it. I dig
Yeah,
it.
mine's a little bit different personally,
Yeah.
but
Kush, let's hear yours, and then we'll go to Spicy afterwards.
I just want to be able to shoot my guns more. I have not shot my guns in about 2 years now.
I
I've
hear
gotten
you.
a couple rounds here and there. I haven't gotten to shoot my guns. I have a new trigger in my AR that's been in it for almost a year at this point that I haven't fired yet.
Oh,
I've dry fired it, but I
Chat.
haven't taken it to the range yet.
Chat. I know there are people out there right now that have disposable income that they're willing to donate to streamers and to YouTubers for them to enjoy a good time. Here's my ask of you. Cushion over here, he's a streamer. You can find him over on Twitch. Twitch, I believe, is Uncle Cushion. You can find him on Twitch at Uncle Cushion. Check this guy out. Watch him play Tarkov Arena and Tarkov. Watch the level of gameplay that this man gives to you while doing so, and maybe consider dropping him a gifted sub or two to pay for a couple of boxes of ammo so this motherfucker can get out to the range and test his new trigger.
Yeah.
Help this man out.
It almost came to Georgia with me, but I was like, I'm not sure how they're going to feel about other people bringing their guns. I know it's kind of okay.
I appreciate that.
But 'cause Swamp Dog was like, oh, no, you can bring whatever you want. They're cool with it and stuff.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I didn't know.
Yep.
We were still dealing with brace issues because my AR is braced. So I wasn't exactly sure how. I was like, it's just going to stay home, less issues.
Sometimes,
But,
easier is better.
Next year, it's coming with me. Whether I get to shoot it before then
Alright.
or not, I'm bringing a few guns of my own and be like,
All
listen, I
right.
got guns and ammo. Let's shoot.
Excellent news. Spicy, you're up next, man. What are your firearms related goals for 2024?
Well, I'm gonna have to buy another Glock because this one's all
Duh.
clapped out. I'm not sure what to do with all these new models that are in 9mm.
Ah, man.
Spicy's
To be
tall.
honest with
I don't
you.
know what to do with my hands.
Stick with a 19, dude. Stick with a 19
Yeah.
and just call it good.
Yeah, I want to get a 17 and chop it down. That's what I'm thinking I'm gonna do is buy another 19 MOS and then get a 17 and cut it down and have like a Franken Glock.
All right.
But
that sounds
but
fun.
honestly, I want to shoot some more matches that are not our local match. Shoot some of the bigger ones around here. See how that goes.
I'd like to get back to matches.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Andy, you have been an absolute sport tonight. I'm sorry that I have ignored you most of the evening in regards to question asking and things like that. But I think this applies to not just everyone in the Tundra Nation, but everyone associated with the Tundra Nation as well. Andy, do you have any firearms goals you would like to share with us as a kind of a non-traditional member of the Tundra Nation? You've been here before, but do you have any goals you'd like to share with us firearms-wise for 2024?
Yeah, mainly it's just get enough ammo because
I
got
hear
a new
you,
house.
dude.
I got a new house. I need ammo for the house.
Duh.
Therefore, that's my goal.
You know, man.
It'd be nice if you knew someone.
I
who
know.
had
I feel
access to
feel
ammo.
like I'll tell you what, Andy.
He's got a lot of oddball guns, so it's
Yeah.
not easy to get
It's
ammo for
not.
this guy.
Andy.
Is it because he's got lights in his house, Scott?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Andy, I'll tell you what. Let me go through my contact list, see if I can find somebody who has an ammo company, and see if I can hook you up with them. Maybe they cut you a family and friends discount. Maybe they don't. I don't know. I don't know.
Not looking good, honestly. The
All
dude's kind of a
If
dickhead.
he's already shaking his head, that's already a no.
There you
I
go.
heard that guy's a douchebag.
I heard that. Guy's a douchebag. Let's move on over to Steve and see what Steve's firearms goals for 2024 are. Stevie, take it away.
Mine are sort of like yours, a little more adjacent. I took a new role at work about 3 years ago, right as the pandemic, or 4 years ago, right as the pandemic hit, and basically created a bunch of chaos from like a marketing PR press officer kind of side of things. And so I just like stepped on a scale the other day and went, holy shit. So mine is sort of like a fitness, get off a flat range,
Sure.
start moving with my gun. Training where I'm moving with my gun is both a way to like.
That's the
get better
only
with
way
my
I like to
rifle.
do cardio, honestly.
Yeah.
You're
Other
only
than that, shit's overrated.
Yeah, but like what?
you're only like 2 hours away from a guy named Fit and Fire. I'm just saying,
let's not throw him into the absolute deep end and then
I'm
throw
not
50
saying.
pound weights
I'm
on him
not saying.
and hope
I'm
he
just
swims.
saying. Yeah, I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
You're right. I should just DM Fit and Fire like, dude, I need a workout plan. But no. So like
Dude,
this
you
year,
know he would literally stop what he's doing to
He
help
would.
you though.
He would.
Oh yeah, no,
He's
this
that
is-
good of a guy.
He is, and it's actually a good idea for like
You can make
especially the firearms training part.
Series
but, like,
of videos out of it.
Yeah, it's actually not a bad idea.
That's actually
You
not
call
a
it
bad
on the
idea.
mark.
Oh,
and
that's
so
fucking
there's a
good.
fitness goal.
Oh, that
there.
is good.
That is really
What was that?
good.
missed it, I'm
Scotty,
sorry.
one more time. You can call it.
I say, yeah, call fitness with on the mark.
That's
Oh,
really
Jesus.
good because it works for both of you.
Sounds like a podcast. Yeah. And so there's the firearm goal there. There's the fitness goal there. I've planned out a lot of the next year with some benchmarks and things, and Fit and Fire is actually, that would be fun to make some videos with him. Maybe I'll give him a buzz. But anyway, so long story short, that's my big firearms goal is, I'm lucky enough to live close to a bunch of ranges that are both public and private that I have access to that are pretty high quality. So it's not range time per se, but it's getting moving with my firearm, getting better at that, and then like just a generic level of fitness that I used to have and just fucking lost. So I
it's called
claw that
getting
back.
older.
Nah, see, everyone says that, and that's I've put myself in this much more hardcore
Let's just say
mindset.
it's a contributing factor.
Things that are important get time. Things that are nothing that's not measured is not done. Is the first rule of my profession and what I do. The second rule is that, like if something's important, it is given time. If it's not important, that's the organization's way of telling you it's not a priority. So I've got a schedule I'm going to maintain. Started this week.
Fuck yeah, brother. Fuck yeah.
But I actually like working out. Working out's not the hard part. It's just like I got to just tell myself.
It is.
The only time working out works for me is in the morning. So I got to get up at 4 a.m. and hit the gym. Which I don't mind. I like working out. It's just I haven't been given enough time.
You saw Richard.
Richard Cranium says in the YouTube chat, at Thunder Tactical, tell Uncle Cushion that I will pay for his range fee for Christmas if he'll meet me at the range. I'll be in his neck of the woods this month trying to go to Indian River Outdoor Range.
Okay, I'm down.
There you go. Richard Cranium, if you're on Discord, make sure to message Uncle Cushion right there. If not, find him on Twitch, Uncle Cushion, or at Uncle Cushion over on Twitch. All right, we have another for the panel question coming in from the Peel this time.
I had
around.
one quick one for you. I had a quick one for you. I think this would be a super fast one, but it's been a while. Cowboy, I'm looking out for you. He says, for the crew, what literature or manuals do you recommend for someone to study and practice for survival tactical training, omitting those that would require a legal disclaimer? And I have two of them, my two favorites. Actually.
I don't have much for this.
Come on,
so
Ranger Handbook.
Yeah.
SAS Survival Handbook.
Cool.
It's basically the Ranger Handbook, but extended. It's got a lot more in it.
Yeah, it looks like a lot thicker.
That's where I would go.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And then the other one would be the Ultimate Survival Medicine. So it's everything to keep yourself healthy if you don't have, services to help you with.
That one.
And
Here, you keep talking.
Here.
You keep talking.
I'm gonna head out. I got an early flight tomorrow.
Yeah, he's flying out early.
Hanging out with you guys.
See you again, buddy.
Safe travels, man.
Of course.
Take it easy. Get back to Texas safe.
Yeah, Andy.
All right, you all have a good rest of your night.
Yeah, steal some ammo from Scott.
No. I'll be right back.
What were we talking about?
We're talking about literature,
Oh, yeah.
survival literature
Books
stuff.
and stuff.
I'm looking for something, but I was gonna refer someone to an episode of a podcast that is not released yet. So give me a second to go find the name of the book. The book has been out for a while, so I can talk about that. But the podcast episode,
Mine
that I
is
was
gonna be
looking for.
so cringe.
Where is it? Hold on, give me 1 second, because I can't remember who wrote this at the moment, even though I did a whole podcast on it. The name of this. Why is this not loading up? It's like 100 deadly skills.
Okay.
Is the name of the book, and it goes right
Oh, yeah,
along.
Clint
right along.
Emerson. Yeah.
Clint Emerson. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. I couldn't think of the name for some reason. I was stuck on Kyle Kingsbury for some reason. I knew that was wrong. Yeah, Clint Emerson's book, 100 Deadly Skills. It's right up there with the SAS survival book that Scott mentioned. Same vibe as far as the stuff that you'll find in it.
Who are we on next? Are we on
Yeah, I
anyone else
guess.
other than me?
I don't think
mean-
I have anything to add, to be honest. I think those are all great recommendations.
So as far as like shooting books, Ben Stoker's got a couple of books out there that are really awesome as far as like pushing your time, measuring your skills, drills to work on specific things as far as like building skill. It's adaptive rifle and I think adaptive pistol. No, it's adaptive rifle. There's some other ones. It's Joel Park and Ben Stoker that wrote those. Ranger Handbook's cool for all sorts of like, small unity things, but you need people to do that. And you need like prerequisite skills to have already in place before you do any
Kara.
of that. So yeah, fundamentals. I'm really curious about that book Scott pulled up though.
There's a this might seem kind of almost cliche, but if you have to start somewhere, start with the Boy Scout Handbook.
Sure.
You'll find a lot more in there that is still relatable to a full-grown adult and survival skills and knots and foraging, what plants are good, what plants are not, fire building, that type of techniques comes in handy before you get to any of the other more hardcore survival stuff. Because if they're like, hey, tie a bowline, and you don't know how to tie a bowline, like they might not cover that in that book because they're like, you should already have those types of skills leading up to it.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
I did have
As I'm literally sitting here, like practicing tying knots and shit.
Okay.
Oh,
There you go.
cool.
I love
Stevie.
that time.
A good, like, if you're looking for like a good basic book on like reminders around, your AR platform rifle. I can't believe I forgot about this, but Clint Smith wrote a pretty good book.
Absolutely.
Called Urban Rifle, and it's nothing groundbreaking or shattering if you've been, but it's like when I'm bored or like the weather's bad and I'm not going outside to train or something when the snow comes. It's a good just to read through and like good reminder of like basics. I always feel like I always like when I go back and read stuff or go through, I hate to use the word remedial training, but go through training again. And it's like, oh yeah, you just like good solid reminder like of the foundational skills that like never go out of style. Like it's often amazing how much you like, especially if it's been a while since you've been through a training, you kind of let slide, and not that you're being lazy, but you just kind of like got into a bad pattern or a less efficient pattern. And so anything like that I always find good to read or go through.
Have we covered everyone else? Or are we on to me now?
We are on to you.
Yeah, we
All
have
right.
great suggestions in the chat as well. You guys are
what do we have in the chat?
We got Ryan Kleckner's long range shooting handbook, which is fantastic.
Great.
Army field manuals, they're super
Definitely.
condescending but they are bone simple.
That
Like,
is where
you're
I'm
gonna be
going
like,
with
they're
this
gonna be
as well.
place against rock stuff, but it's
Yep.
like, okay, you know, it makes a lot of sense, and there's manuals on everything. So in there, a lot of the time you can get them for like a couple bucks on
Yeah, well,
Amazon.
and that is where I'm going with this. I am going, this is going to be a little bit of a joke, but also very serious. This actually lives in my survival bag. I took it out. Don't worry, I'll put it back. And this is AppFam 10100, the Air Force or the Airman's manual, the Airman's manual. So this covers everything from here. Let me just pick some random spots. We have
It's mostly hotel reviews and Denny's.
Would you like to know the first page I took to?
They don't go to
was
Denny's, bro. It's
Oconus
Longhorn
legal
or,
concerns. That was the very first segment that I turned to. Oconus legal concerns. We have preparation for deployment, team integrity and accountability. We have
Lumbar support.
Oh, this is classic for the Air Force. Expedient hardening.
Hello.
skincare.
If it lasts for more than 4 hours, go see the doc.
Yeah, go see the doc. That, by the way, is in relation to defensive fighting positions, expedient hardening of defensive fighting positions, passive defense, food consumption. We're talking about water purification.
How to charge it to your
Yep, your military card. Yep, exactly.
GC card.
Always remember to sign
next
up for your Hilton Honors Points program.
We have chemical agent detecting, field communications.
How to
see.
know you've been drugged by
It's
a
funny you were
Marine.
saying field communications. I was looking for my Gorilla's Guide to the Baofeng radio, and I can't find it.
Oh, there you
That's a good
go.
one.
We have alarm
That's
green.
fantastic. Actually, yeah, radio. I have a radio book, and I have yet to read it. And I was like, that's a one that almost nobody has.
Scotty, you'll appreciate this. We have the variations of alarm green, alarm yellow, alarm red, and alarm black.
That's right. Connor Cooper, baby.
We have integrated base defense in here. We have handling prisoners and defectors. I don't know why the Air Force would ever be doing that, but if that is in fact the case, the Army's failed their job.
They'll walk up to the
Because
base.
they're desperate to get them away from the 82nd guys.
Yeah,
and
right.
a bunch of, they're like, just don't let those guys handle.
In here, we have reactions to flares. We have weapon maintenance, believe it or not, M16A2 and M4 carbine ammunition guides. Tells you the difference between 855, 855A1, 856, 856 ammo. Tells you how to.
That's pretty awesome. You usually don't get that all in one manual.
Yeah, this is all in. I mean, this is like a 200-page manual. It goes from everything from chemical stuff, like, you know, how, you know, I mean, this is like full on grunt style, like pictures and wording and everything. This is an entire 2 pages on how to drink with your gas mask on.
Oh yeah, I hope you got
Right?
that canteen bottle of
Oh,
First
God,
of all,
man.
remember
Here
that
we go.
an airman never drinks his scotch on the rocks.
Yep, here we go. We have heat and cold injuries on these 2 pages. These are all weatherproof. This is all completely weatherproof. This is all grease pen writable. This is honestly like, okay, this like I feel like I'm setting myself up for a joke for saying this, but actually I don't know if the Air Force still does this, but the Air Force manual, in terms of like a basic survival manual or like a basic skills manual, in this package, I don't know if the Army does anything like it is in this package.
We have
here.
our SEER manual that's pretty extensive.
Perfect. But for like like nothing in specific or in specificity, but for a basic manual, at least this version of the Air Force manual or the Airman's manual is something that I keep in my daily pack, or not my daily pack.
No,
but my,
I like,
my,
yeah,
bug
I
out
like
bag.
it's extensive. Yeah, it's like the Ranger manual and kind of stuff that we have. But yeah, I went out and the best book that I found so far that's like a civilian style, but has a lot of like tactically minded stuff is this SAS one. I mean, it has everything from building structures out of nothing and how to, you know, make yourself warm with, you know, hardly anything at all. It's very like, it's meant for if you're dropped into the middle of nowhere, you want this. So, and yeah, plant identification, that kind of stuff too. So
Richard, by the way, Kush, Richard Cranium is saying, I still say crowdfund Cushy a couple of boxes of bullets. That's what we're trying to do, Richard Cranium.
Yeah.
Go check him out on Twitch. Toss a couple of bucks his way next time you stream in Tarkov.
Even if
Yeah,
you don't
probably.
subscribe, send him. He's got his PayPal up on there too.
And
Send it to
you
PayPal.
can get some entertainment out of it by jump scaring this motherfucker into oblivion for a couple of bucks.
Yep. Yep, there's a few on there that are quite annoying, especially if I'm playing like arena. And
Yeah.
like you hit the sound that just keeps playing for 30 seconds and the round's gonna be over in 20. So I spend the whole round not hearing anything. Yeah, that's a real thing.
So I know we mentioned this before, but I'll mention it again because I just caught up with the YouTube side of the chat. Tom says if somebody wants a great long range shooting book, Ryan Kleckner wrote what I consider to be one of the best beginner books, the Long Range Shooting Handbook, and he is 100% correct. I am in no way, shape, or form a long range shooting expert. I happen to know quite a few of them, and they all know.
Book to come out.
And they all know the Ryan Kleckner's the Long Range Shooting Handbook. So yes, if all of my contacts in the long range shooting world are saying this guy knows what he's talking about, he probably does. But
Ryan Kleckner's man for that.
Don't take it from me. Take it from him and his experience. All right.
Butter Monkey, thank you for the follow.
What's that?
Butter Monkey just hit me with the follow.
Hell
there you go.
yes. By the way, guys, if you are in the chat right now and you go follow Uncle Cushion on Twitch, make sure to tag me at Tundra Gaming Live or at Tundra Tactical on YouTube and say I followed Cushion on Twitch because I'm a goddamn legend, and I will read it out to you, or I will attempt to read it out to you. I think that brings us up to pretty much current. I do have a couple of notables to shout out in the chat. Cat Milk is saying, since it's applicable to the entire panel, what is everybody's preferred beard care? You guys all know mine, so I'll go last on that. But we'll start around the horn with Steve. Steve, tell us, what is your preferred beard care?
Well, I do not have a dedicated beard wash because I don't have that kind of time.
You casual.
But after the shower and the shave, I use a very nice balm. I use one of two different companies. One is called Beard of God that makes a really good kind of waxy-ish, but not too waxy. And I just started with another company, and I can't remember what they're called, but I like them too. Followed by a little bit of light beard oil around the edge just to minimize razor burn, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So I keep it simple, but I think the results are magnifique.
I once challenged this man to a beard off and lost significantly. Uncle Cushion, what is your specified beard care routine?
I have not been keeping up with putting products in my beard as much as of late.
Not even from your guys?
I personally haven't. I have some. I've been not taking care of myself properly and like just letting the beard get really scraggly. I do have a beard wash that I like. Nice,
Jake. Nice, Jake.
I'm trying to think of the fucking name of it. I can't think of the name of it right
We
now.
love you too, Kara. You're the best.
But I get all of my beard stuff from the Dapper Guru. Which chat was this come from?
It's good.
I think this is coming from
YouTube?
Twitch. I think this is coming from Cat Milk on Twitch.
Okay, well, I just dropped it into both Twitch and YouTube. I dropped the link to the Dapper Guru. Use that link and you get 10% off.
Dapper Guru does some good stuff.
Fantastic stuff.
Yep.
Just use the code Dicks Out for 10% off.
Dicks Out for 10% off. Tom,
I can't believe they let you make that as a coupon.
If you knew the guy who ran the company.
Quick break. Let's all say goodnight to Tom, our buddy. Say goodnight, Tom.
Have a good night, Tom.
Thank you for all you do for the Tundra Nation, man. We love you. All right, continue on, Kush.
Yeah, you use that link and the discount code Dicks Out, all one word, and you get 10% off. It's all American made.
And you get to help out our boy Kush a little bit because he gets a little bit of a kickback from that.
You get the taste.
You get a little bit, yes.
A little bit of a taste.
I am sponsored by them. The guy who started and runs the company is a friend of mine. He's a veteran.
There you go.
I don't know if he went to Iraq or Afghanistan.
Oh, yep. They're getting him. Motherfucker, they got me too. Who was that? Was that?
I'm trying to
Twisted?
get
That was
affiliate on
Twisted.
Twitch so I can get bombed too. Apparently.
Oh, you
That had to be
wait,
Twisty if
hold
you
on.
hit all of us.
You
It
don't
was
have.
Twisty.
Hold on. How close are you to affiliate on Twitch, Spicy?
I don't know. I think I have enough followers. I haven't.
You
gotten
gotta do
one of-
the
I haven't
hours.
gotten one of those progress emails in a while.
All right. How about
Yeah.
we do this? How about we do this, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube and the Twitch chat? Our boy Spicy McDouche, wave to the camera as your microphone goes crazy. Yes. Hello, Spicy. Spicy's trying to get affiliate on Twitch. I didn't realize you weren't already an
I thought he
affiliate on
was.
Twitch.
Yeah, for sure.
Jesus, I
Otherwise,
think I broke it.
Otherwise, I would
microphone-
have been pushing for this a lot earlier. Long story short, we need to have all of our buddies as affiliates on Twitch. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do, if you're part of the Twitch Nation right now, Wheelchair, Cushion, Dr. Catmilk, I don't care who it is, put a link up to Spicy's channel. And what I would love for you guys to do is click that follow button. Trust me, if I'm saying he's an entertaining streamer, he's an entertaining streamer.
Oh, yes, he is.
Streams a lot of what? You doing Call of Duty still? You doing
Yeah,
what now?
I'm pretty much playing COD right now.
There
I'll
you
be
go.
playing that ready or
Zombies.
not this next week.
Zombies.
Yeah.
There you go. You will not be lacked for entertainment when it comes to old Spicy McDouche there. So I would highly suggest you follow him and help him hit his goal of hitting affiliate over on Twitch. Ladies and gentlemen of the Thunder Nation, we're going to move on here. I think once again we're caught up on the YouTube side of things.
my beard. I just use regular
Thank you.
shampoo stuff, and then my main problem is that I get dry skin from being in the shop all the time.
Well,
so
and that's where you need the beard oil.
the beard oil doesn't help my skin, so a lot
Yes,
of time
it
I'm
does.
using aloe.
No,
aloes.
you need the
and
beard. You need the beard balm. That's why.
the beard balm works for a
When
bit.
the oil isn't cutting it for the dry, you need the beard balm, and you need to. The beard balm is more for the skin than it is actually
Yeah.
for the beard hair.
So that's what I
You
end
gotta
up
get
using
it
is a
in
lot
there.
of beard balms, aloes, and whatnot, trying to get in coconut oils, anything just to get my skin to be healthy because it gets bad sometimes.
All right. For me, in terms of beard stuff, mine is very simple. Buy a blow dryer and a paddle brush, and that's all you'll ever need. If your skin gets a little dry, rub some beard oil on your beard and let it sit. Don't wash it out. Don't brush it out. Don't do anything crazy. Just let it sit on your beard. It'll naturally seep down to your skin and hydrate that skin underneath. If you have dry skin, which you are prone to get from time to time with a beard. Other than that, I do not use any other products. I don't endorse any other products. From what Cushion has told me, and I trust Cushion, his Dapper Guru guy is pretty solid.
The
But
beard balm
from
is awesome.
the best advice I ever got in terms of beard maintenance and beard care came from our boy Hypoluxia, and he said, get a blow dryer and a paddle brush, and that is all you need for shape forming your beard into whatever you want. And he was absolutely correct. Absolutely correct.
I hate to admit, because I've seen other people say similar things, people who like are in beard competitions and stuff from a couple beard groups I was in the past. And they're like, yeah, blow dryer, you need to blow dry it out as you brush it and you'll be good. I didn't want to believe it. Even Tyler started
It's
saying it, didn't want to believe
100%
it.
true.
And then I did it and I was like, God damn it, it fucking works.
It does. It totally works. It's all you need. It's really all you need. The extra care products definitely help in terms of the maintenance of the beard.
Bye.
But what do we say?
Sorry.
Don't worry about it. Continue on.
All right,
Don't
fair
worry
enough.
about it.
Fair enough. I'm kind of curious as to what I missed.
Just
Nope, we're
idiots
not
in the-
repeating
Moderating
it.
the chat.
Fair enough. All right, later, whoever you are. All
They're
right.
not a fan of Ruger. Let's just say that.
What's that?
They're not a fan of Rugers.
Well, I mean, whatever.
Gosh. Anyway.
Bro,
Tyler,
let's move on. When we tell you to move on, it means move
Oh
on.
no, I
Trust
picked up what
Skywalker.
you're putting down.
Luke,
good.
you've turned off your targeting computer.
Use the force. All right, here we go. Couple coming in from.
Let's do it.
We'll do one quick one from Dr. Catmilk here, and moving over into the YouTube because a couple of YouTube ones coming in. Dr. Catmilk says, during your travels, who has had the most Glock personality when interviewed? I've been fortunate enough to interview quite a few different people, and it's usually in the presence of either one or both of the writers here. So I will turn that over to you guys initially, and then I'm going to follow up. So what do you guys, we'll start with Steve. Who is the most Glock style person that we have interviewed since you've been on the board? And then same thing for Cushion after Steve.
Can you define Glock style for me first before we start this?
Thanks
Just
for the stall,
curious.
Spicy.
Perfection.
I'm curious as to see everyone's own interpretation.
Practical, pragmatic,
I would say
economic.
yeah, I would say like generally speaking, they're either boring, practical, pragmatic,
always getting shit done.
sure,
Functional.
Fucking clutching when you
yeah,
need to
they're-
clutch.
They're
Market
not
dominating.
They're not sexy, but they rule the world essentially.
Basically came out in the 80s and no one has come up with a competing product since then, even though other companies have
that's my middle
constantly
name
tried,
right
even though they
there,
really
yeah.
haven't changed it much since the original one came out.
Hey, we got a new follower. Who is it? Who came in? I don't know.
Moist Nako cake.
Hey, there you go, Moist. Thank you very much for the new follow. You are welcome to be part of the Tundra Nation, the Tundra crew,
Yeah.
and we're happy to have you.
Don't be a weirdo.
Steve, let's have you start this one off. Even though Spicy very clearly made his opinions known.
Just wanted to know.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, Spicy likes definitions.
During
That's-
our
that's his-
travels,
that's the
who
thing.
was the most Glock interview that you think we've had so far?
It's hard because, like, so when I heard the question, what went through my mind is like, who's just like the Toyota Camry of interviews? Like,
I have that answer.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't think you've
fine,
interviewed them, but
like, we're never gonna really talk about it or reference it again. Which you're because what you're really asking, Steve, is Steve, who was the most forgettable person we've ever
Not
filmed?
even close. I would say who's the most lovable person that we've ever filmed?
Semper nailed it
Oh.
on that one.
I see. I think this is entirely
yeah,
down to
if this is about
interpretation.
lovable, I mean, we didn't film Pappas though, did we?
We didn't film. Well, we have filmed Pappas in the past. He's appeared multiple times on this show.
I mean, if there's a guy I would just like want to hang out with all day, get buzzed and smoke cigars,
yeah.
and just shoot the shit with.
It is easily Mike Pappas.
Mike Pappas is on that list, 100%. Man, yeah, I'm gonna go with Pappas. Like, if we're making this a positive,
And
thing
you were
about their
there.
personality.
You were there for the first time. Well, not the first time that I did, but for the first time for you, obviously. When we sat down, we had a significant bottle of alcohol with Mike Pappas in a hotel common room, essentially.
Yeah.
And partied hardy until very early in the morning. And
yeah,
the
the only
nicest
thing
hotel clerk ever said that
she
we
was
were
wonderful.
that we were wonderful human beings, even though she fielded multiple phone calls saying we were way too loud.
And we were
100%.
very loud. Yeah, no, I mean, if we're making this a positive, I'd say like Pappas is just a solid, reliable guy.
Oh, yeah.
He's great to hang out with. Man, no one else is really coming to mind, so I'm gonna have to make that my answer.
Fair enough.
Moist Nico cake hitting all
Scotty.
the follow buttons.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Moist.
There you go.
Yes, thank you, Moist.
Spreading the love around. We'd love to see it, Moist. Scotty, yeah, let's see.
I don't think you've interviewed either one of these. You have had interactions with, and I want to put it out there. I think the late great James Yeager, very consistent. Not boring.
I have interviewed James Yeager.
You have?
before.
Okay. So I say not boring, but very dependable, reliable, gonna give he was a solid dude. But the person that I think takes the cake here, he just never stops. We got Forgotten Weapons, Ian. I mean,
Yeah.
he kind of fits the description,
You'd
right?
say
He's there.
He
don't-
wouldn't be like a foreign gun, like some fun French
Yeah.
thing, perhaps.
I don't know though. I don't know like if
Lots
we
of
can
foreign.
say that I've
I mean,
ever
he's reliable.
interviewed him though.
No, you had an interaction with him.
I've had a
That's not-
couple. I've had a couple of very awesome interactions with him.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever
it's not an interview. But I would, as far as a Glock person goes, I think of Ian.
Okay. Right on. Spicy.
Yeah.
Spicy.
Yes.
Do you have an
I-
answer to
I-
the
I
most
really-
Glock person that you've ever interviewed?
I mean, we do a lot of fucking interviews.
That you do. That's why I'm asking you this question.
Yeah, I know, and there's a lot of people that are great every time that don't really stand out. I'm thinking about Chacho specifically.
Sure.
I probably shouldn't answer this question for the sake of it coming back to bite me.
Then don't. I would say.
Yeah,
Th-
I think
that's-
I'm gonna not
it
do
is-
that.
It is
Actually,
fine. It is fine to abstain. It is absolutely fine to abstain. All right, fair enough. For me, the most Glock person we've ever interviewed, and I don't necessarily equate Glock to boring. I equate Glock to, like we were saying,
just not flamboyant. I think it's
no, I don't even think that, because Glocks definitely can be flamboyant depending on whose hands they are in. And
Okay.
if you
Depending on
want
the
to talk,
Cerakote.
yeah, if you want to talk about somebody who is upgraded,
Stock Glock.
somebody who is not stock in any way, shape, or form, I would say it was James Reeves.
That's exactly what I was thinking this whole time.
Yeah.
James Reeves was the answer I was going to give.
That man is
That's why I didn't-
upgraded as a motherfucker. And he's, number one, he's a great interview. He had no idea who I was when I flagged him down to do an interview.
And he was awesome.
He took about 10 minutes of his very valuable time to sit down with me and do an on-the-fly, non-booked interview that I had no idea what I was doing, that he had no idea what he was doing. It was all just a complete shit show, but it turned into a little bit of magic for me and Steve and Kush, who was there when we did it, and it was absolutely fantastic. So I would say James Reeves is my most Glock-like interview. Mr. Reliable. When you need a good interview and you're on location, you talk to James and you get it. You talk to James and you get it.
He's one of those guys that, like, you might see him online and be like, all right, if I saw him in person, he might be one of those guys who might be trying to like shrug people off or whatever to go do what he's doing. But like, if you start talking to him, it's like he's on camera, even if he's not. He's super nice, super relatable, funny, just, wants to have a conversation with you. And then he moves on when conversation's over and it's done.
There you go. All right. I think this is probably going to be our final question of the night, because I'll be honest with you guys, I'm fading fast. So I apologize.
He's going
9:30 my
down.
time. It's
But
12:30 your time.
yeah, it's 11:30 my time. But
11:30.
it's close enough. Anyways,
12:30 Christian's time.
this is coming from Mad Dog. He's saying, wanting to buy a rifle for what I'd consider an everyday carry / truck gun. Would prefer a higher end AR style rifle, but wouldn't mind a bolt gun. I'm almost always in my truck or almost always in some sort of vehicle. So I think all of us can agree on this. The idea of a truck gun in its traditional sense is generally a terrible idea. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah, a truck's
where
not
do
a
you live?
holster. We all.
Where do you live?
And well, so his
what I would say.
qualifier, his qualifier is he's almost always in his truck. And so
You're going to take it out of the truck at night and bring it inside, right?
Please.
if it's
'Cause
not,
like Scott said,
if you're, exactly. If your truck isn't your gun safe, then I would consider, like, if it's a work gun or something like that, if it's something that you have to have with you in your day-to-day life, then I'm okay with a truck gun. But as long as, like Spicy said, you don't just store it in your truck overnight, like as long as it comes in with you, I'm okay with this idea. But for the most part, I don't think any of us are going to advocate for a quote unquote truck gun. Assuming that is in fact the case, revisiting his question, wanting to buy a rifle for what I'd consider to be an everyday carry rifle / truck gun, would prefer a higher end AR style rifle, but wouldn't mind a bolt gun. I'm almost always in my truck or in some sort of vehicle. I'm going to tackle the bolt gun section first.
Okay.
And Kush, you're gonna have to help me with this. What's it called?
The mini fix.
Yes, 100%. The Q mini fix in 8.6 blackout
good
for the
option.
bolt gun. That carbine size bolt gun. I have not shot something that fucking gnarly in my entire life. It's like a PCC size bolt gun. It gets the job done. It's got the round
good.
for it, and it has the company that knows how to do this type of shit. If you're willing to spend the premium tier money, because it is a premium tier, yep, yeah, something like that, 3,600, 3,500.
Before scope and accessories.
Yeah, if you're
Yeah.
willing to spend the premium tier money for a bolt gun, that's where I would go with something that is hyper mobile and in a solid kind of think of the gaming term. What's that? Not recon sniper, but like an aggressive sniper build. You know, you got something that is fast up front in your face, but still can reach out to that 150 yard mark. Yeah, that Q minifix is absolutely solid.
Okay, so the mini fix is not available in 8.6.
Oh, what
The
the fix
fix
is?
no.
Okay.
The fix is also basically it's only a little bit bigger though.
It's still
You
still
s-
your carbine size gun.
yeah, it's still
Yeah.
under 6 pounds. Before it's loaded before an optic
Yeah.
or a can or whatever. But I mean, it's still a small rifle. Still has the 45-degree bolt throw, so it's super fast
I
for
will
a bolt
say
gun.
in terms of my favorite guns that I've shot this year, that is in the top 5.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
The fix has been the Q has been making good stuff for like
Cozy,
about 10 years
Emily,
now.
thank you very much for
Hey.
the raid. Oh, you are such a sweetheart, dear. I do have to give a quick shout out to Cozy Gremlin and her little boy toy there, N7X Ranger. They sent me both a very, very nice Christmas card this year. And I would like to
Aw.
say thank you to Emily, because I'm sure you made Ranger send that Christmas card. So thank you very much for that. That meant a lot to myself, Megan, and Ellie. We all
Absolutely.
loved it. And you are
Cheers.
an absolute legend. And thank you. Welcome, Raiders. My name's Tyler. This is the panel of Steve, Scott, Spicy, and Uncle Cushion. And we're talking guns tonight. And I think, are we on to anybody in particular, or are we moving on?
No, I'm
How many
Yeah,
questions are you gonna skip us
honestly,
on tonight?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Most of
I'm
them.
sorry.
It's all good.
I think
I don't have any beard care stuff I wanted to talk about anyway.
I
I'm
think
sorry. I'm sorry,
high end.
Spicy.
I think high end is like the opposite of a truck gun. Like if you're going to have it in your truck
if it's
a
like
lot,
a work gun though too, you could argue that high end is better. Like it's a day-to-day gun.
Yeah,
I'd rather
okay.
have my day-to-day gun be a high-end gun than not.
yeah. If I'm patrolling ranches or whatnot, I got to
Correct.
deal with coyotes or whatnot.
I want an LWRC or a
Barrel
Sons of
hog.
Liberty Gunworks or
want-
something to that
yeah.
effect. A Daniel Defense.
Yeah, which to me, just like I mean, that's not a truck gun. I mean, that thing's handcuffed to me. I'm not.
He specifically says he's almost always in some kind of truck or a vehicle. So if it's not like the meme definition of a truck gun where he just leaves it in there 24
Okay.
hours a day, 7 days a week, I think like we could redefine it as like a work gun, but not necessarily
Well,
in
yeah.
its traditional form or sense.
Even as a work gun, I'm still thinking like if it's a truck gun, I need to be able to uncase to be able to put that behind my seat,
Sure.
right? Just be able to it's not going in the case. Whereas a
Yeah.
lot of these other guns, I'm like, if it's high end, I'm putting it in the case,
Sure.
and then I gotta pull it out. I want this to be, oh shit, there's a coyote I need to take care of, pull it out, and I'm thinking, I don't know. There's a couple of things. Like I don't know, a great truck gun has always been an SKS.
I just
that
I
was
just
always
got
the
to the I
truck
just
gun.
got to the wheelchair band this guy something 76 in the chat, so I'm
Yeah.
assuming that's
Yep.
what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. I
Um,
love coming up to old stream stuff.
High end, but not the most high end. I think like a good JP rifle. JP.
See, that would be beyond
That's a fancy
yeah,
shit.
that would be
They have
beyond
some
my
decently priced
definition.
stuff though. That's like
They
that
do,
can reach
but
out.
I've always considered JP to not necessarily be a work gun. It's more of a pretty gun. It's more of a
No,
competition
okay,
gun.
yeah, that they're more known for like their sporting, like cutting
Yeah.
edge, like
And
stuff.
don't get me wrong here. Apparently, JP has said they will never work with me again. But I won't talk too much shit. I will say their guns are of a supremely good quality. They are supremely
And
good. But
There's a
don't-
couple of their guns that I would be like, all right, that's a gun I can toss around a little bit, but it's not maybe a perfectly truck gun thing. But yeah, most of the truck gun stuff I'm thinking cheap, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I don't know. See, I'd go the opposite end, and I would go with like a highly touted or highly sought after duty gun, like an LWRC, a Sons of Liberty
I think
Gunworks, or a Daniel
you lean on
Defense.
the right angle. Yeah, like I said,
I-
I'm struggling.
I got one like right in between,
Okay.
and it's a way to keep the money down as far as having to accessorize and change things to this and that. Get a T6 firearms rifle for 1,500, and
That's not exactly cheap.
But it's also not the high
But
end
you're
of
right.
LWRC.
I mean, you did
and
say it's
whatnot.
kind of middle of the road. You're right. You did say
Middle
it.
of the
Yep.
road. It's a flat shooting gun. Throw one of the Sylvan or Law tactical folders on it.
Or
for it to fit in
Uncle
your truck.
Cushion, or you could look into our good friends
At Fold AR. Yep.
or at Deadfoot Arms.
Yep. They're the ones that make the Fold AR, right?
Well, they're the
No,
ones
Fold
that make,
AR makes the Fold AR. They
No,
make the tail hook.
No, they make the tail hook, exactly. Yep.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, and yeah, just do one of those. It's you don't need a what's it called, the foregrip on it, because it's already not going to move. Throw whatever decent optic on top for a few $100s or whatever you're going to throw on there, and boom, you're good to go out the box.
I think that's pretty reasonable.
It's got
like
room on it for all your Magpul stuff, for if you want to throw your lights or whatever on it, if that's what you're going to have it on. But I mean, it's already on your truck. Your truck's got headlights. You'll be fine.
I do want to say a quick shout out once again to Cozy Gremlin Gamer, or Cozy Game Gremlin even, for the raid. You guys, or you, Emily, are the best, and thank you for bringing your chat in to us late on this Saturday evening, even though we're not playing video games or anything like I'm sure what you were doing. Also, I this is super late, and I'm sure she's not even here. But I wanted to say also thank you to our good buddy Kara, for hopping in early into the chat and giving us so much love. That got lost in the chat. Kara, I apologize. I'm sure you're not watching anymore, but on the off chance that you are, we love you and you're the best.
Oh, some good recommendations in the YouTube chat for some guns. But who are we on? Steve?
What are the recommendations?
We have the FM15 and my favorite so far, the BRN 180.
Good night, Rich.
With the rolling stock.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
BRN 180 is a good choice.
That's a solid play. Hey, Richard Cranium's out of here. He says, at Tundra Tactical and crew, thanks for another great year. Hope everyone has a safe and prosperous new year. Please consume responsibly, and I look forward to seeing you all in 2024. Cheers and good night, fellas. Good night to you, Richard Cranium, and happy new year to you.
Hit me up. I'll meet you up at the range, because that range is like 25 minutes from me.
There you go. Richard Cranium, you got a range partner now. As long as you pay for him, he says. I'm kidding. All right. Let's see.
You got the money, honey. I got time.
By the way, Mad Dog is quantifying his earlier question with, it will be used on almost a weekly in some sort of fashion. I work on a farm, and I'm always out riding around on field roads. So yeah, I think my answer wouldn't change. If you're looking for a solid bolt gun, that Q-Fix is about the best that I've fired this year. If you're looking for a gas gun, depending on where you live and the legalities associated with just some sort of braced AR pistol, would be my choice. Depending on how bougie
did you have
want to
anything
get
to
with
add,
it.
or
PS90?
90?
Another bolt gun option that's a little bit on the larger side, if you got a big truck and you don't mind keeping it in there. I might get the name wrong. It was the Daniel Defense Delta 5 Pro.
It's the biggest, heaviest, fucking monstrous.
It can.
Yeah, but
they're great though.
It was nice,
They're great.
They're
Yeah.
very good
very
shooters.
nice.
They're very good shooters. If you don't get to carry it around, you got a truck to rest it on. Yeah, there you go.
Especially if you get their matched ammo to it. It's crazy.
Unfortunately, guys, we all got it wrong, and Twisted did get it right. He says, you all got it wrong. Go with the CMMG Mark 47, because that's a perfect use.
I mean, actually, I wouldn't go with the Mark 47, but I'd probably take a CMMG in 300 Blackout so I could have that nice short barrel,
there you go,
AR mags, and I wouldn't worry about folding it, brace it up, like Kush said. If you want to put a folder on it, fine, just for storage. But like, I don't know if I would go super high end on a truck gun ever. Just
That's
if it's going to be a real work gun but like you're not.
You want something that works though, and that's my argument
but
for it. You don't want to go with like
any
a
competently
Christensen
built
arms.
AR will work,
Yeah.
right? So like, what are we trying to accomplish here?
But I'm
Like, if
saying
the
there's
worst-case
an
scenario
argument for
is-
something that is, you know, kind of generally considered to be a work gun, like a Daniel Defense or an LWRC or a Sons of Liberty Gunworks gun.
Honestly,
Sure.
depending on their comfort level, if this was something I was like, I'm gonna be out in the scrub and a feral hog might charge me, and I need something to fix that disproportionate force. I want a shorty 300 blackout with a good brace on it, and
I
I'd
like
probably
it.
build it myself, so I trust it.
Solid play.
Yeah, there's so many options here, guys. It's
There's
tough.
no bad
It's tough.
choices. There's just
Yeah.
commit to a choice and do
well,
it right.
guys.
No, there is a bad choice. The bad choice is leaving it in the truck all the time.
Sure. That is
Right.
that is in fact
Which
a bad
is-
choice. But
makes me
gentlemen,
fight against the lion.
we're about to actually wrap it up here. The questions have dried up, and it's about that time. It's almost midnight here for me. It's about 20 minutes away from midnight. I'd like to go get some food, and I am done with the internet for today. I have been editing and filming videos all day long. And I'm sure Steve and Kush have been right there with me pretty much doing sanity checks and all this other crap. So brand new video coming out tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Time, all around the roast and honorifics of Gaston Glock and his effect on the firearms industry. Make sure to check that out. In the meantime, folks, I do want to say thank you very much for watching. My name's Tyler. I do this thing called Tundra Gaming Live and Tundra Tactical here on YouTube and Twitch, respectively. This is the panel. We're all here collectively to wish you a very happy Saturday, and make sure to join us next week when
We still don't know what the fuck we're doing.
we still don't know what the fuck we're doing. Ladies and gentlemen, we love you guys. We miss you, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the night. Enjoy your evening. Bye-bye.
Happy New Year's.
Cheers. Good
Happy
night.
New Year, folks. Bye-bye.
Thanks out.